Welcome, everybody, to the Monday edition of Game Time here live on the Outlaw Nation channel. I am your host, John Rocha, joined by two of my favorite guys in the world. We've been having a lot of fun on this show over the last few weeks, and today I feel like it's not going to be any different. I mean, one's already wearing his shirt backwards. The other one's trying to cover up his face with a camera. I love it all. It's perfect. Jay Washington, what is happening for you? How are you? By the way, the chat's already lively talking about the Washington name change, Jay Washington. They already said, I believe they decided on the Washington tight ends, just so Chicago. Oh, what, man. Starting already, Jay. Starting already.
I am having a very bad day. This is the worst day that I've had in a very, very long time. They reclosed the gyms out here, man, and I'm just upset. Like,
I know. Yeah. What are you going to do for pictures, man? Are you going to go down in the garage? Are you going out in the middle of the road? Like, where are you going to take your pictures, my brother? I put an R on the end of that so nobody gets it confused. Where are you going to take? Where are you going to take your pictures, man? Oh, okay. All right. Let's move on to Winston Marshall. How are you, man?
I'm good. Ask why I have this on backwards. For anybody that watched SEN today, thank you. Shout out to Corey Smith. I did have to host the show because it was an emergency that came up in the 11th hour, and somebody had mentioned a shout out to Crisscross, and so I was like, well, fuck, let me go ahead and throw a jersey on backwards and rep one of the greatest rap duos that lasted all of 2 seconds because one of the poor boys died so early.
Is that what it was? One of them died.
He died at like 17. Like they were like 13 when that happened. He died like a few years later, like about half a decade later.
No, it wasn't like a few years. They had a second album. He died.
No. I know it was like a good 5 years, about a half decade later, but still, like I mean, that they were two really talented performers. So to have that happen, that's beside the point. I put this on to rep that, and it just seemed fair to wear this on top of that because if anything, what's been backwards for decades? Yeah, Washington Football Club. Y'all should have figured this out a long time ago. I'm glad you finally have joined us in the 21st century, yo.
Nice segue there, Winston. Yeah, that's definitely our lead story starting off today. And thank you.
By the way, Christian Ramos, I've been doing Focus T25 with Winston, and I'm doing it after the show. The gym was supplementing, so I was been doing Focus T25, yoga, and the gym.
Yeah. I was trying to move on with the show, but all right, we can go through. No, it's all right. I'm just messing with you. I'm just messing with you. I love you. I know times are tough right now. All this lockdown stuff happening. It's getting crazy out there. But let's take our minds off that crap for just a couple hours. Have a little fun with the fans. Have a little fun with ourselves. The first, I mean, how can you not lead with this story? It is the story just that's releasing all over the place this morning. It was official. It was kind of broken last night by some of those NFL insiders about this situation that the Washington Redskins have officially released a statement this morning. They confirmed over the weekend that the team will officially change its name. It says right here, the statement, on July 3rd, we announced the commencement of a thorough review of the team's name. That review has begun in earnest. As part of this process, we want to keep our sponsors, fans, and community apprised of our thinking as we go forward. Today, we are announcing we will be retiring the Redskins name and logo. Now here, this is the important part, upon completion of this review. So Dan Snyder and Coach Ron Rivera are working closely to develop a new name and design approach that will enhance the standing of our proud tradition-rich franchise and inspire our sponsors, fans, and community for the next 100 years. This is such an interesting situation on so many levels because of the wording of this statement, right? Upon review, then we'll retire. Both Mark Ellis and I woke up this morning, we tweeted about it and said, hey, this is our last day as a Redskins fan. We are now be a fan of new, but the name is being retired. It is not officially retired yet until they complete this review. So, Jay, they kind of allowed themselves a little bit of wiggle room here. You've read some PR statements in your time. How true does this one ring to you?
This one, again, did you notice the first thing they said they wanted to appease?
Yeah.
Their sponsors.
Oh,
that was the first thing they said they wanted to appease. Fair. It was the first. So again, they don't give a fuck, for lack of better words. They don't care about Native American feelings. They don't care about fans' feelings. They don't care about protests. It's all about their sponsors. That is all this is about. They don't care about nobody else. And again, to have a review to decide if you're going to officially change it, what they're going to do, that review could more than likely last up to a year, the entire season if it happens. So this way, if the season happens, the Redskins get to play out the 2021 season as the Redskins. Then after the season is done, because here's the problem. when FedEx said they'll leave as the sponsor for the field, nobody else is going to take that name. Right. Nobody else is going to take that name. Then Nike has pulled your stuff. Amazon has pulled your stuff. Everybody. So you gave the most BS PR apology. Again, you and I were just saying it before we went live. Yeah. It's that if I offended you, I guess.
Yeah, it feels like one of those apologies where if anyone was offended by what I said, I apologize. Not I apologize for what I said, and I know I did wrong. This is interesting too. I didn't even catch the sponsors thing. Winston, you look at this. Does this feel too like it's a bit of a it's a bit of purposefully constructed message to kind of say we're going to take our time reviewing this and come up with a name, but until then, we're still the Redskins. Is there a way of playing both sides a little bit?
I mean, the immediate answer, retire it now, call yourselves temporarily, like the working title is the Washington football, the DC football club. You could be DCFC, which would be dope. But let's be real. Like you said, this was money talks type scenario. The same thing happened with this whole apology to black people and not to Colin Kaepernick's name. They only give a fuck about their money. And it's one of those things that it's like, that's where you see the difference, though, between the NBA and the NFL. I mean, the NBA is showing its ass a little bit with this reseason type scenario with everything. I get you're trying to work it out one way or the other. I mean, these are people's jobs on the line, so I get it. But the NBA has actually shown that they give a shit about the players and the people that look like the players and social justice as a whole. And you don't need to be a social justice warrior to give a fuck about justice for other people. You know what I'm saying? You can be a decent human being and give a fuck about shit and not feel like you're out here trying to be Sean King or whatever. Let's be 100% honest with what this is. Dan Snyder vehemently quoted, "We will never change it. Y'all can fuck yourselves. I'm going to do whatever the fuck I want. I don't care. This is my team. This is how we do things." Okay? They already had it where the original, I don't remember his name and I don't care to, but the original dude that founded the Redskins put the thing in place and was very anti-desegregation. So like, it's been embedded in the culture of the club as is, and the NFL. Like, let's not even get started on that because remember, you're getting people that are beating women and children. You're getting people that are like murder cases, rape cases, all sorts of stuff that they allowed to come back and play. You know what I mean? So like, it only has happened because money came in, and that's part of what people try and say though when they try and do the blackouts and everything else like that. Money talks, period. It is what it is. It's how our political system is run, unfortunately. Lobbyists throw enough money at shit and you can get a politician to do whatever the fuck you want. So all this was a political move, like financial political move, because they were standing to lose a lot of money. I'm glad it's happening, but I hope we also were very aware of how things move in this country, knowing that.
Yep. I mean, it was $620 million were being threatened with these companies, FedEx, Nike, that all came together and sent that letter in to the Redskins. The minority owners that own 40% of the team were immediately looking to sell their ownership stake in the team themselves. So a lot of factors were aligning here. Plus what you mentioned earlier here, Winston, Black Lives Matter. Like this, apparently enough of the public has gotten sick of this to make these changes come so quickly. It just lets you know that these changes were already in play for a lot of people in their minds. That's why they moved so quickly. Once the public turned in favor of something, then they were ready to get aboard. I mean, Dan Snyder deserves absolutely no credit for doing this, and anybody trying to give him credit for it is absolutely wrong or is getting paid by Dan Snyder. It makes no other sense any other way, because a leader leads. A leader gets ahead of the crowd. A leader takes a chance. A leader is bold, makes decisive moves. A leader doesn't sit back, wait for the rest of the crowd to go along with something, wait for this money to be threatened, and then step up and make the change. And this cloaking themselves in the military crap is really, really rubbing me the wrong way. As a guy who served, hearing Ron Rivera talk about that, the Washington Redskins had nothing to do with the military. The Redskins' name had nothing to do with the military. In fact, if you want to go back and look at how the military treated Native Americans in our past in the country, it should have nothing to do with the military. So for me, that frustrates me. That's them trying to play both sides. Yes, we'll change it for the blue states. We're going to talk military for the red states, and that bothers me on so many levels. Jay, I mean, does he deserve any credit at all? Can you credit this guy at all?
No. Okay. No, because here's the thing. This is what they're trying to do. It's the like Winston was saying about being woke. They're trying to go, oh, everybody's so woke and super sensitive. You had the wicked bitch of the East and culture like, oh, they're losers. When you tweeted about it last night, I retweeted you and said racists are about to lose their minds. Because if you notice, the only main people, the overwhelming majority of people that are upset about this are white people. And let's just call it for what it is. And if white people are upset about a name that Native Americans have said, and it is known to be a slur, and they're like, oh, it's not a big deal, clearly it's a problem. And so to say, oh, you're being losers or you're conforming to PC culture, no, you're not calling a team a slur to an entire ethnic group. One of my buddies texted me, the black guy was like, what if they said the name was worse? Another name that's worse. I was like, the only way they can go worser, was if they called them the red niggers. That would be the only way. But that would probably be the only way. But I say that to say, look at all who's mad. The only people that's mad at this name. The only people mad at this name.
Yeah. What's wrong with me? I don't know why, but just because I feel some type of way about Dan Snyder and shit, and the people that have been defending the name, I kind of want them to call it that, so we can just see it. So we can just have all those people truly be seen as to who they are. Like, show me your true colors.
Call it the red niggas. Call it the red niggas.
I mean, that's still my favorite line from next Friday. It's like, you play for some sort of sports team to have this house. Yeah, but
it's like, this is literally only about the Cucamonga Cracker Killers. Yep. This is literally just all racists across America sitting here showing their true fucking colors and trying to say, oh, it's PC culture. No, because I have not seen a single Native American I know that is cool with that. And I've seen Native Americans that I'm friends with and friends of friends and so on and so forth. I've not seen a single one that is on the keep it the Redskins bandwagon. I ain't seen one, but you know who I've seen sticking up for it heavily? White people. And they've been going for it high. Oh, what's the problem with it? Clearly,
the Hodge twins.
Well, them coons too.
I know.
Because let me tell you something. If I go into the coon patrol, you're going to have them, Candace Owens, Paris Denard, Terrence K. Williams, Sheriff Clark with his old coonity coon the bear ass looking face. All these.
Jay's having a bad day. I respect him, but I respect the anger. Like we say from the beginning.
Bad day.
Like we tell you, this ain't Sports Center. You can't say this on Sports Center. This ain't Sports Center.
I mean, not right, but I'm not trying to be.
You're right.
It's just the thing. It's the truth.
Yeah.
It's just the absolute truth. You are not seeing anybody but white people. And I'm not, again, for people who just tune in like, oh, see, I knew Jay was a racist. No, you dumb fuck. I'm not saying all white people are racist, but the only racists that are getting mad at this are mainly white people. Overwhelmingly 99.8% white people.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, my girlfriend's half Native American. Her family has her mom's full Native American and her family. So for them, I'm on this family text chain. When it came through last night, everybody was texting each other about it, how happy they were that it was being changed. So yes, are there some Native Americans? Some of them chimed in on my Instagram post and said, I'm Native American. I'm okay with it. I totally get it. That's okay for you to feel. However, overwhelmingly, it is time for the change. And some of them said, well, we started calling ourselves Redskins. That's fine. Black people can call themselves the N-word. It doesn't mean you got to make it a logo or a mascot.
You do not become the Oakland niggas. That's not
right. You
just
can't
because black people are fine saying the word. You can't do that. Like, that's not okay.
You can't
do
that.
In the same way that like the LGBTQ community took back both the word queer, but then also the F word. You're not going to all of a sudden be the San Francisco F words. That's not a fucking thing.
Exactly.
That's not a thing.
Not a thing.
You can't have that happen. That's for damn sure. Now the question becomes, Winston and Jay, and I'll go to Winston first since Jay had a little bit of time here over himself. Winston, how quick do you think we'll see the name? Like we were talking before we started, it might drop while we're doing the show. I've heard that it might be next week. I've heard it might be later on this week. Could be today. When do you think we'll see a name?
At the rate that we're going, not until they announce camps opening up.
Oh,
I think that on top of the fact that you have the NFLPA and the NFL in the middle of negotiations of what the season looks like, I have a feeling that like while Snyder and them are putting in the work to get this done, I think that that's a good thing to open up camp with in their mind as like this is what we did and this is the new era and it starts today as the Washington Football Club, whatever they decide to call themselves. So I think that would be it. Otherwise, fuck the pomp and circumstance. If we're gonna retire it and then ta-da, here's the decision, like LeBron, but with our football team. Like I genuinely think they're going to wait to make it some big thing, like they deserve a parade for it.
Yeah. I mean, the rumors were that Warriors was what they were looking at because Dan Snyder had bought an indoor professional football team and was considering calling them the Warriors. So they were in motion of trying to get the trademark for that, but rumors are that they kind of abandoned that pursuit. There have been rumors about Red Tails. I don't know if Red Tails is any better, but this allusion to the military. Ron Rivera keeps talking about the military. And what do you guys think? Don't you think it's weird to have your first year head coach be chiming in on what the name? This isn't like Doc Rivers kind of shepherding the Donald Sterling situation. He's been there for a bit. This is a first-year head coach who hasn't even coached one game for us officially, deciding what the name of we could fire him next year. So this is
the thing I keep seeing. I'm tired of people going, oh man, if you speak out against this, you'll instantly be labeled racist or you can't say anything. You can say it, and you can say whatever you want, but there's a bunch of shit that's gonna come behind it. Yeah. You can run your mouth, and you got what?
I'm so sorry that I'm laughing at Soul Gavin's comment. The Washington, I'm taking my talents to South Beach.
But like, you get all these people who say stuff, and then when there's backlash on it, they're like, "Why is there backlash?" I need everybody to stop trying to use this quick the flag in the military as a safe blanket.
Yeah,
because that's got to stop.
Yeah, I agree with you, man. I agree with you. Once again, someone who served, I hate when they use it that way. I hate when people allow them to use it that way. The military gets free PR out of it. That's why they like to use it, because that keeps them recruiting people, keeps them all employed, keeps them all doing the things that they're doing. I get the reasons for it. I just don't have to like it. People already were talking about, should we even be doing the national anthem at the beginning of sports? I'll be honest with you. If it was there, great. And if it wasn't, I wouldn't care either way, to be honest with you. I still love and respect my country. I'm dedicated to my country. I don't need to sing it before a football game. I don't need to do that. So I don't. It's weird to me on a lot of levels.
I want to know real quick. Did you hear about the real estate agent in Alexandria? What he did?
No. Talk to me.
So he bought the trademarks for a bunch of nicknames.
Smart.
These are the names he bought: the Washington Red Wolves, Washington Tribe, Washington Red Tails, Washington Monuments, Washington Veterans, Washington Renegades, Washington Braves, Washington Red Tails, Washington Freedom Fighters, Washington Warhogs. Somebody bought Washington Redskins, which is hysterical. Washington Red-tailed Hawks and Washington Potomacs. So this real estater in Alexandria, Virginia, is basically forcing Snyder's hand to where you only got one or two choices. Because
not only that, he's setting it up where it's like, yeah, you can do it, but you're gonna. I see this more as like a come up.
You can pay me.
You can pay me for this shit. It feels like that dude that decided to buy all the hand sanitizer, and then that shit just sit in his garage because he started marking that shit up.
That idiot!
They're like, sorry, bro, you're done. I have a feeling that's what's going to happen to this dude with the real estate, with all these trademarks. He done backed himself in a corner, or he wasted all this money, and then Snyder ain't going to take none of them.
No.
Mark, somebody going to have a name out of nowhere and going to be like,
Yeah, it was like the weird thing that happened with when the Wizards were changing their name, right? The Washington Swamp Rats or whatever they were looking at. And I'm like, what are you talking about? Who the hell votes for the Swamp Rats? It was some weird name like that.
Is this one of those high school, let's choose our mascot together, and then everybody puts the most offensive shit they can find?
Old man Abe Poland was like, I'm going to put a bunch of things out. And he was actually leaning towards this terrible name for the Washington Bullets they were going to change it over to. And everyone was like, are you insane? But he was trying to rig the voting so that name would be the name they were selecting.
I have the name.
Yeah,
I have the name.
Oh, boy.
Like, what is it? Just call them the Washington Thick Niggas.
No. That's even worse. What is wrong with you?
You could be the Washington Thick with two C's.
Okay, I'm sorry. Washington Thickums.
Don't add an ums to them, bro. Like, stop trying to. That's nigga life. Don't fucking add an ums.
Okay,
that's a Washington Thick. I like that. So that's kind of fire.
Washington Thick, yeah.
The Washington Thick. Yo, that's that. Yo, can you imagine the cheerleaders for the Washington Thick? Bro. Chocolate City, indeed. Fuck.
I would care more about halftime than I would the actual game.
Like, I mean, at the risk of walking up to the line, that is Chocolate City stuff. That's for sure. The 5 names that were considered for the Bullets were the Stallions, the Dragons, the Express, the Sea Dogs, and the Wizards. Sea Dogs is what they were considering. What's Sea Dogs got to do with basketball?
Okay, so now my brain went to Booty Call Winston when he was like, you at the club, you turn on the light, and a fucking sea donkey.
Bro, you should almost call them like the Washington Chappelles or something, because I know he reps DC pretty hard. I mean, that would be kind of fire. I don't know.
Rivera keeps saying it's going to be something attached to the military. So Red Tails, my mind starts going towards Red Tails. Unless they go Warriors and then they completely change the color scheme and it's full-on military red, white, and blue type vibe, that's a possibility. That's not. Are they keeping the burgundy and gold? I don't know.
Hey, DGMC has the best one.
The Washington Habitual Line Stepper.
Yes. Start sending in some money for these DGMC, for God's sakes. Help us out. Kenneth Daisy says this little bit goes to Jay's home gym. Oh, thank you so much, Kenneth.
I appreciate it, but here's the thing. I just want to let y'all in on secret. Roku won't tell you. He don't see none of this super chat money for 28 days. And by then, he's paying bills with him.
Plus, they take 30%. So
send 30%. Send that shit to send that shit to StreamLabs so we can get something in the Venmo today.
Right. That's how it works.
You have to understand, Jay has to go buy his 5-pound weights if he's gonna get this home gym thing going. Shit.
I'm about to go scour Amazon again.
Yo, the Washington Thick, Deontay Wimbish. Look what he put as the super chat.
Washington Thick master who would do more. Oh no.
Jason Garrett immediately be like, I would like to be fired and sent to the Washington Thick. I'm just out here like, yes, Lord.
Oh my gosh.
They're watching the claps on the 1-3s, bro. I'm dying.
That's fantastic. All right, we did have. Here's another one. Joshua Jared Butler says, "What do you make of?" This is more of a soccer one, so I'll answer in just a second. Let me get to some StreamLabs first, and I'll jump into that one. Let's see. We had one that came through immediately. Yeah. Oh, Daniel Haygood said, "My vote is for the Washington Swamp Monsters. Love this particular show. Do you do, Rocha? Keep it real." Yeah, absolutely. It's what we do. That's why these gentlemen are riding along with me. I like it to keep it real. Fillmore Pockets donated a little bit. Eric Kirby sent something in. He said, "Hey, guys, this is for the end of the show. Better Western movie, Tombstone or Unforgiven, and who would win in a fight, Denzel Washington or Clint Eastwood?" All right, we can debate that one a little bit later. John Doe says, "Hello, gentlemen. Quick question. Do you really believe that all sports leagues will finish their seasons with the flu season, second wave of COVID, with each state's own restrictions and the eventual positive tests to come?" So a valid question to be asking here as we transition out of the name stuff and into what's happening here, negotiations with the NFL and the NFLPA. We'll keep tabs on it. We'll find out what the Redskins actually call themselves. If it breaks while we're doing the show, we'll talk about it when it breaks. Mm-hmm. But for right now, look, they've made the statement. It's official. They're moving on from the name. Now we got to wait how long they're going to take to make a name, to announce the name and do all the logos and do all the merchandise. I guarantee you, if it's a good name, I'll buy some merchandise. Just support the idea. Here we go. All right.
So I'm not getting a Washington jersey with a dope ass nickname on it.
Come on.
I mean, look, again, also as a Cowboys fan, it would probably hurt my soul. But if you genuinely named yourself the Washington Thick, it's just bro, it was ass cheeks doing like this, like
the ass cheeks are the C's. No, the ass cheeks are the C's.
And then mid motion to clap. You bet your ass I'm gonna buy one of them.
Like it's two like these. It's THICC.
No. I'm in so much trouble, man. I'm in so much trouble. Cedric the Entertainer.
I like that.
Yeah,
I like that. The Washington to be announced. The TBAs, the Washington TBAs. I like that.
Oh my god, I'm all for this clap notice.
Yo, can you imagine like on the scoreboard? You know they have like the little dot, like the LED like animation.
With two ass cheeks,
so the teams are tracking together. Hey man, look, man.
Hey, you know how they sell them sticks like in NBA and in the NBA with a free throw?
They're like make noise to stop the field goal, and everybody turns around and starts twerking in front of the field goal.
Terrible. God damn it, terrible. All right, let me answer Joshua Jared Butler's question. Now, what do you make of CAS overturning Man City's Champions League ban? It looks like they got away with breaking fair play rules on a technicality rather than innocence. I agree. Yes, they did, and that's how it goes when you got that money. When you got that Saudi money, it helps helps you avoid some jail time, helps you avoid getting real penalties put on behind you. So Man City did their thing. They appealed. They got it. But plus, soccer's governing body isn't going to punish too hard one of their premier teams in the world right now that's bringing money into soccer. So Barcelona got away with it too. Chelsea got away with it as well. So Man City got away with it. No surprise in my end. And it's bullshit, of course, but money talks, bullshit walks. That's how it works nowadays.
But don't even worry about it, baby. You champion, ain't you?
We champion for this year. That's for damn sure. That's
right. Enjoy that. Like I remember when the Mavs won, I was concerned because they were about to go on strike and we got a shortened season and there was talks we weren't going to bring back most of the championship team. I understand that it was an older team, but they deserve the right to defend their title.
Right.
But it just didn't happen. So just enjoy the championship while it's here and deal with them fucks later, man.
Yeah. Agreed, brother man. Look at him.
You see, that's exactly for the thick marketing department. Let's go, bro. Get your scenes out. Get your scenes out. Get your scenes out. That's the chant instead of Hail to the Redskins. Get your scenes out. Get your scenes out.
If Danny went that far over the edge, I might go with him. I might actually go with him.
Actually, I know what the actual theme song will be, but go ahead, y'all. I'm gonna tell you what the theme song will be in a hot second.
Yeah. All right. Well, listen, it's 181 of you guys watching us live. Thank you so much. Please hit that like button. Get us over 100 likes and marching towards 150 likes. Just swing that cursor over there or swing that mouse over there. Hit that thumbs up button. Get us over to 100 likes, 150 likes. The more likes we get, the more we get seen in the algorithm of YouTube. Important for everybody involved with the show. Please.
Hey Rocha, Winston, I know what the theme music for the Washington thing would be.
Break it down. Don't get a strike on the show.
Hey, he doesn't want to spike. Turn off. Turn off. You don't want to copyright strike. Okay, you get 10 seconds, Rocha. That was five and a half. You okay?
Throw that ass in a circle. Throw that ass in a... Wait, you got to do it right. Throw that ass in a circle. Throw that ass in a circle. Throw that ass in a circle.
With the C's.
Oh, Lord. All right. Let's talk about the next thing here. I got some weird noise going on. I don't know what happened there. But let's take a look at this thing. It's happening now. Oh, there we go. All right. So this is happening now between the NFL and the NFLPA. This is the next story up on the docket. There's negotiations now about coming back to play football. But we should have a larger discussion here in just a second after I lay out the rules here. There's a bunch of issues they're trying to hash out between the two sides. For example, acclimation period. Some players want to slow ramp up from working out to taking the practice field to avoid injuries and to get comfortable in the new working environment. There's opt-out clauses for players. What happens to a player's contract if he decides to sit out due to COVID-19 concerns? We're seeing that happen in Major League Baseball with a number of named players already. Do they get an accrued season for sitting out because they're trying to save themselves from getting this stuff? They're trimming the 90-man training camp rosters to avoid unnecessary contact, equipment modifications. I'm going to show a picture in just a second of the new equipment modification that they're pitching. Jay and Winston, I think you guys are going to kick out of this. And how to share lost revenue with players knowing they have to take a loss somewhere to offset the lack of fans in the stands. The league's offer is to place 35% of the salaries in escrow, and that is considered a non-starter with a lot of the players. So the overall goal is to get 16 games on television. They're arguing about preseason games. They think training camp's going to start in a couple of weeks. But all this stuff is kind of, you're listening to all this and you're wondering, well, what's the real truth of what's going on here? What are they actually trying to put together? And you got craziness like this Oakley doing this mouth shield for these NFL helmets. I don't know if you guys saw this yet. We'll put it up in just a second.
No, I haven't seen it at all.
Okay. Well, what do you guys think about this idea, though, overall? Like this idea of trying to negotiate. Like, do you feel there's anything to be won here by the players or by the league itself? Because as soon as one person tests positive, I mean, what's going to be the point of all of this?
Hey, man, we got 3 teams in Florida? Yeah. Tampa Bay, Jacksonville, and Miami.
That's one of them has Tom Brady too.
One has Tom.
And with the shutdown of California again, I know. Sorry, Jay, I know it's a little sensitive right now, but the Niners, the Chargers, the Rams,
right?
Like you got a lot over here too.
Arizona's about to lose the Cardinals because they finna shut down again.
Arizona. I mean, luckily Oakland just moved out, but I don't know where Nevada stands right now on their stuff. I mean, I think that this is important, and you do need to try and do stuff. Again, let's be real. The NFL cares about its bottom line, so you need to at least present what you're trying to do something safe. But then beyond that, I think for the players, their PA has been infamous for not really getting the stuff that they genuinely need for their team as a whole. They kind of go Their 1% are the ones that really get most of the good stuff out of it.
Yeah.
So I sincerely hope that they this time pull the balls out and really do the right things to protect their union and to make it not only from a physical safety standpoint, but to make sure there's certain things into place with their salaries that these players are okay. Because again, the top 1%, the people that are having these decent contracts, they'll be fine. They can still go broke, but they'll be fine. Right. I'm thinking about these 4th round rookies. I'm thinking about these unsigned free agents, all these people that are maybe on the year making $500,000, which is better than most Americans, but that can be a huge fucking deal considering the lockdown we've been in and they probably haven't had any other work. Right. Their money matters way more than Tom Brady, for example. You know what I mean?
Also, Winston and Jay, you're not getting paid the $500,000 as soon as you sign the contract. Nope. It's paid out week by week, depending on your play, on the play. And if there are no games, you're not getting a check. You know, they got to figure out how to pay that out. So that's the next thing they're trying to negotiate. So don't get it twisted. NBA players said this all the time until they finally pushed the new collective bargaining agreement to get paid weekly for the entire year. You were only getting paid during the season. So you were accruing that money, but it was coming to you. So there were months where you weren't getting any money. So you had to kind of make it work and stuff like that. So yeah, that's another thing people
call two words that a lot of people forget throughout all this that will play heavily throughout every sports league. And it's called force majeure.
Yeah.
That's what's going to see if anybody can get paid the way they need to get paid. Yeah. Because this is an act of God. That's what force majeure means. Yep. It's an act of God that's stopping everything. So that'll be what helps out all of those 4th rounders Winston was mentioning.
Yeah. Oh, 4th rounders. Nice shot. Thanks, Jay. I appreciate that.
No, I said it, but that was completely by accident. I literally pulled a number out of my ass. I don't know if subconsciously I was taking a dig at you, but I literally pulled that out of nowhere.
Your boy won the tournament. Can't you just be happy? All right,
look,
Washington.
man.
I like that. I like the Washington Humpties. Sounds like Umpties. I'm down with that.
Do the Humpty up. Do the Humpty up. Yo, the Washington Humpties and the thick cheerleaders.
Oh boy, that's a hell of a turn. What if
every time they take the field,
what if Snyder was in the stands with cornrows? That's what I want to know. So, Gavin, dropping some real news. We had 15,300 cases in Florida yesterday. Yeah, it's madness, absolute madness. I don't know how they think they're going to keep playing and doing all of this. And let me bring up the helmet now. This is how the NFL apparently thinks it's going to stop you from spreading the coronavirus, putting the visor on, and then you see there, Jay, right at the bottom, and Winston, there's that mouth guard. That mouth guard is apparently supposed to stop you from sending your droplets of sweat and mouth spit into another person's mouth, so they might get coronavirus.
Coronavirus. The shit is real.
Wait. First of all,
that another man's spit was getting in they were spitting in each other's mouth a lot.
I mean, that happens all the time.
Hut two. No, it's the fact that shit ain't even a solid plastic sheet.
Nope.
I understand you want to have room to breathe. I get it. But the level of holes and openings within it don't help the case.
Yeah. This is called the Oakley Mouth Shield. It's a product designed by Oakley in collaboration with doctors, engineers from the NFL and NFLPA to mitigate the spread of coronavirus. It is expected to be distributed to all 32 teams. Dr. Alan Sills, the NFL's chief medical officer, said that's certainly what we're going to encourage, people wearing the shield, and we hope that we're going to land on a product design that's something that everyone would want to wear. Now, JJ Watt chimed in. And he said, my second year in the league, I thought it'd be cool to put a visor on my helmet. I was like, it looks so cool. I want to put a visor on. I had it on for about 3 periods of practice, and I said, take this sucker off. I'm going to die out here. So now we're going to put something around my mouth. You can keep that. If that comes into play, I don't think you're going to see me on the field. That's a strong statement from one of the premier players in the NFL, Jay Winston. I mean, if he's saying, I'm not going to play, you make me wear this thing, then it becomes a situation of a law of diminishing returns, isn't it? If you're just doing it just to finish out a season and retain some kind of money rather than taking the loss here, what's the point if a lot of your star players are not even going to play?
First of all, people forget what a visor. People think a visor is the best thing just to keep out dirt and, grass and flowers. But it also will enhance the sun no matter where you're at. And it can
That's a good point. Unless you're wearing one of the mirror ones that you see a lot of them that were famous for.
Well, but you're wearing those. Then it actually holds in heat. Oh, that is just petty. That is just just wrong. That is just wrong. You, sir, need to go sit in the corner because you, sir, are wrong. That is.
Ooh.
That's a good one. That helmet would look good with a thick peach logo on it. Oh,
hell yeah!
No.
Oh my God, this is about to be our new shit right here, bro. That's immediately what you do. You axe the chop. Fuck that racist shit and start hitting with this. Start with a clap, clap, clap.
Somebody come up with some game time shirts with the logo and
it's got to be ass cheek. It's got to be one cheek this way, one cheek, and it's got to have like the little motion. It's got to left cheek, right cheek, left cheek, right cheek.
Jay, I realized the real song would be "Girl, the way you're moving, got me in a trance."
Oh my God!
Or I mean, that make that booty work. What if
it's just a remix of every ass song we've ever heard? My team is too bootylicious for your babe. Ass.
Booty work.
Girl, you look good when you back that ass up. You a fine motherfucker when you back that ass up. Oh my God, this remix for their theme song is amazing, and I am so on board. Fuck the Cowboys. I am now a Washington Thick fan.
Well, I mean, this comes back to John Doe's question, right? He's asking, do you really believe that all sports leagues will finish their seasons with all of this flu season and the COVID and the restrictions and all these positive tests to come? Do you really think the NFL is going to push forward? I know somebody commented, well, the NBA is still going forward. That doesn't mean, I mean, I don't know. We'll get to that in just a second, but like, do you think the NFL, if more and more players start testing positive, this becomes a moot point?
Again, the NFL isn't doing a bubble. Like
they're not.
That's the only advantage, if anything, the NBA has. The NBA is doing a centralized location for all of this.
Right. And then just less personnel. You're talking about 15 people on a team versus the 52-man roster.
52, yeah,
exactly. You're gonna lock down all of those players, all of the assistant coaches associated with it. Because again, a basketball team, you're talking maybe a coaching staff of 5 to 10 at most. Most. Whereas the NFL, you have one for every single fucking position, as well as the head coach and the assistant coach, all of the
coordinators up in the booths.
Right.
It's too much. I don't. The only way that this works is you have to hope by the time we get to, what would that be, September, which to be honest, it's too late now. This should have been in motion in May for us to be like this, that we're not seeing these numbers.
Yeah.
If we were seeing the numbers that you're seeing in these other European cities and whatnot, I think you can run the risk of trying to do it. But the explosions we're having, literally all it's going to take is one or two of these cats getting it. And on top of that, I know a lot of them are going to want to play regardless. It's their dream, their livelihood, etc. But I would guarantee you that a vast majority of them care more about their families than anything else. And they're not like, you're going to have the hard-headed ones that are going to be like, nah, fuck it, I'm a man, it'll be fine. But you'll get a majority of them that go, I'm not risking my baby. I'm not risking my wife. I'm not risking like my parents that live with me for this shit. Like, fuck that. That's why you've seen a number of NBA players who were all gung-ho before have been like, you know what? I'm good.
Yeah, it makes no sense. Yeah, for them because of what might be a risk. Avery Bradley stepped out. Dwight Howard was going to step out. There are a number of people that have stepped out already in the NBA. And as I said earlier, in the MLB, there's a number of players that are saying, I'm not playing the season because I'm not going to catch this thing. And, you can actually practice social distance in the dugout. You're in an outdoor sport. That's even less of a risk for you in baseball, but you don't want to take that chance. So, yeah, in the NFL, I think the same thing will start to happen as well. It's when the big players start dropping, that's when you need to start really worrying as a league, right? Because right now, Tom Brady's out there playing with his Tampa Bay Buccaneers. He's practicing with his Buccaneers, not giving a shit about this stuff. But we saw already that's not going to stop you. We saw Ezekiel test positive for it, even though he was working out with Dak for a little bit. So anything is possible at this point. I
mean, you just gotta see what happens again. I don't think there's a map that they showed of the explosion of coronavirus cases. Yeah. And again, I say it on Blurs and I say it here. Diagnosis of being positive with COVID-19 does not mean a death sentence. I'm tired of people doing that. I've seen people like, oh, I hope you enjoy your funeral. Like, yo, it's not a death sentence for everybody. It does have a 1% mortality rate, which we understand, which in the grand scheme of things can be a large number. However, when they did that map, you just see where the line cuts off, where it's all red, where it blows up. Like that's a lot of places you travel and involve players and their families and everything, and you're gonna stay in that southern area a lot.
Yep.
A lot. So with the NFC East, the AFC East, the NFL, the NFC South, AFC, all the Souths, no matter what, and like some of the AFC West, man, like come on, man.
Yeah, and that's, I mean, we'll see what happens when they negotiate between the NFL and the NFLPA, what they're going to negotiate. But you're already seeing in the NBA so many people complaining about what they're getting like in that bubble. Because even being in the bubble, dude, you're not seeing 100% what is happening to a lot of these people when they take a chance on going down there. I don't know if you've seen Montrezl Harrell and then posting that weak ass chicken that they were feeding you. Here's another example of it in the NBA bubble. That's what you get. You get a little bit of
the Fire Fest meal.
These niggas is eating straight.
They straight up sent them the leftovers from Ja Rule's endeavor into being a goddamn. They could have at least sent them the Papa Cristo shit that he did the other day.
No, I need you to pay attention to the little tag that the NBA has on there. Your July 7th, 2020 dinner: fresh garden greens, arugula, watermelon, pickled onions, along with rest. Like, yo, nigga, they gave all. This was all the shit that was supposed to be.
They rated the shit that they give to flight attendants when they have a layover a little bit longer.
This is the Spirit Airlines in-flight service right here.
That's $30, by the way. That's $30 for that shit.
No, that's just $35 for the watermelon and the chips.
Bro, I'm just like, my mind is blown. You're literally dealing with guys that are multimillionaires that are making this sacrifice, and that's what you want to give them. I know you got to cut corners, but are you fucking for real? You're also talking about people that are on
eating school lunches,
but they're also on a next level. The amount of calories they burn. I don't know if you guys remember hearing about when Michael Phelps was in his prime. This motherfucker was burning almost 30,000 calories a day.
Yep.
They're like these athletes are on par with that. So you're telling me that this is what you're feeding them? They'll pass the fuck out halfway through practice.
Look at this. Look at that. What are you going to eat from that? That's from Montrezl Harrell. That's from Montrezl Harrell. That's what he.
That's if you're training to be an X-Men in a Fox movie again. That's
bro. That's the kind of shit that, like, which is sad to say, but you give to like high school students when they go to tournaments. You know what I'm saying? When they go to these basketball tournaments, that's like kind of the quote unquote gourmet shit they may get.
This food look like. Go ahead.
I'm just.
That looked like a storefront church dinner, but then nobody getting nothing in the collection plate.
That's the shit, though. Like, all jokes aside, that's how you get someone to break quarantine and break the bubble. To go, what the fuck is this? And then they go and get a Popeye sandwich, or they go and get something from like the whatever healthy place they like to eat. It doesn't fucking matter, but you give them that, and of course they're gonna be like, "Fuck this! I'm gonna call my assistant. I ain't eating this shit. Bring me something." It's not gonna end well.
They already had 2 more people test positive just right now in the last 10 minutes. It's been reported 2 more people testing positive inside the bubble. So they had that. What's that?
People got to learn. One of the things that we're unfortunately going to have to do, and I think we said this probably on Blurs. If we haven't, Winston, let me know. We're going to have to live with this, unfortunately. And I'm not trying to use that. I'm not trying to use that as a valid excuse to continue everything. Sure. But no matter what's going to happen, people are going to have it. Some people, again, because some people are going to get it and don't get sick. Right. Some people will get sick on a minimal level. Some, unfortunately, will have the most extreme. And then some, unfortunately, on top of that, will pass.
Yeah.
Everybody's going to be, the way these people going, they're all going to have, somebody's going to have it.
Yeah.
And go ahead.
No. Let's jump into it in the NBA section a little deeper with the Russell Westbrook situation. But first, let's hit these super chats real quick. Kenneth Daisy says, bringing home big foam cheeks instead of the finger for the thick. The Washington
things. What a phenomenon! And you know how you make sure you don't ever body shame a woman again for a situation where a white man pulled a black titty out on national television. You gave her shit. If you name an entire team after ass cheeks, and everybody, America could stop me so goddamn.
Yeah, but here's the problem. But then what happens when they start trying to recruit cheerleaders that got asses like old waffles? Like, what happens when you try to recruit cheerleaders who got asses like beat up pillows? You know, those
maybe they pick up here, and then maybe instead of doing that, they hitting one of these.
They're like,
you know
clap.
So you got something out here. What's that called? Oh, they doing the shimmy. You got them doing the shimmy, and then you got everybody else doing the this, and then there you go.
Hey, because remember the first time, remember when Hooters first came out, and this is men and women, they were like, I'm going to Hooters, and I know a bunch of women was like, how did these bitches got a job?
I'm throwing this out by the way before somebody tries to come at me that we're out here like trying to like do something like sex or whatever. Like my girlfriend and all of her friends, all they talk about, like they won't watch football like for real. They go, God damn, who was number 32? He has a massive ass. I love that.
My daughter's mom and I almost broke up several times with this broad's love for Dwight Freeney for the Indianapolis Colts.
Like that ass.
That ass.
Any of the running backs, any of the linebackers, they got so much fucking cake, man.
She loved Freeney. I was like, bitch, I'll kill you. Like, I'm right here. This nigga's
I didn't know Big Booty brought the girls to the yard. I didn't know that.
I swear to God, every girl that I know that fucks with football either really loves the sport or they don't care for it, but they all universally agree. Did you see number 25's ass? And the white pants too? Oh my God, girl.
That's or they look at ass and they trying to look at dick prints. I'm telling you.
All right. I just want your head coming out. Can you do that? Can you do this? And then your head comes out? Number 7, Dwayne Haskins. I want to see that on the show. I want to see how Michaels call that. I want to see how Michaels trying to keep it.
I'm just imagining if you end up with a speed player like DeSean used to be and all that shit, all of a sudden, look at that ass fly. Like just running down the fucking field. Everybody clapping like this as they fucking running the kick return.
Those cheeks are giving them a momentum.
Selling more peaches than Parasite. That's for damn sure. Randy Constant says, Richuan Holmes getting quarantined for 10 days for getting Shake Shack. That's true. He broke quarantine.
There you fucking go.
For the Houston Rockets, he went bass fishing. They caught him bass fishing and they quarantined his ass. He's so hungry, he went and caught his own food.
Nice, Rocha. Well done. Hey, claps for Rocha. Come on, claps for Rocha. Hell yeah. But also,
he tried to say he didn't know that was against the rules to leave his room. Motherfucker, it's called a quarantine. It's called a dome.
See, here's the thing with quarantine. It also, because there's different variations. When they're hearing quarantines, a lot of them think it means that they can't leave the compound. Because again, No.
Jay, it is written out and handed out to every player.
Mr. West hit.
Them fools ain't reading it. You can't blame them.
Let me be honest. Let's just be honest. Most people, with the average age in the NBA is like 22 years old.
Yes, 22, yeah.
22. You were telling 22-year-old niggas to stay in your room for 14 days.
Yeah, that's tough.
Who is thinking that's really
with no Washington Thick to join them down there, bro? There's trouble. Like I said this a million times before they set this. Go and watch the tape. I've been on the show every motherfucking Monday. This is not going to work. This is a bunch of millionaires that are used to having side pieces and ass at club and everything else, let alone if they're maybe good family men and they just really kick it with their motherfucking families. They are some of the most privileged people on the planet, and I appreciate the ones that do what they do, but let's be real. No one has really told them no, and you're going to tell them that they are not allowed to leave a fucking compound? Bitch, you're not going to tell me what the fuck to do. I make $100 million a year to dribble a ball, ho. Get out my face. And then they're going to go and get Shake Shack and Bass Fish. Okay, you know what I'm saying? Like, this is exactly what was going to happen.
They should have told them, they said, hey, listen, guys, we understand this is going to be difficult for you. Do you guys have everything you need? Your PlayStation, your Xbox? Do you need a bitch, a bottle, lunch?
I also don't understand why then maybe you don't, you all the teams that you have, again, knowing that you don't have that many, hire an executive chef for each fucking team and feed them properly. Do something like that.
Keep them housed there.
Yeah. The fact you got these niggas eating out of styrofoam,
it's a terrible situation.
I'm just picturing like Jimmy Butler going down the soup line.
Oh man,
what? Bro, I'm just imagining. You know what I'm saying? Was like, so when you say we can't leave, you're saying that like we can't leave during the practices and the games, because I wouldn't do that. I want to play. But when you say that I can't leave, you mean that when coach calls me to be at the thing, that I have to be there, right? That's all you mean. Nah, nigga, you can't leave at all. Nah, so when you say that I can't leave, you mean that like I can't leave unless I'm wearing my team uniform so people know that I'm a part of the organization and that I can say, no, nigga, you can't leave. And when you say that I can't leave, everybody knows that one person
It's gonna be that one dude be like, all right, so the word can't. What you're saying is
they call that pulling a Clinton. What is? Define is.
Define is. Right. Define leave. What do you mean by leave? I leave. I leave this plane for an hour a day when I meditate. Am I not allowed to meditate, my nigga? Because if I can't meditate, I can't even do this. I just can't even do this.
The word can't is actually a contraction of two words, can and not. Now, which part do I need to listen to?
So also, so does that mean I can not leave? Is that what you're saying?
The can is in the word. The word can is in can't too.
Everybody knows that one person that'll just keep asking till it wears the person. Now go, okay, just leave, motherfucker. Take my keys.
Bro, I'm literally imagining these fucking basketball players being like the little kid talking about Linda, listen. Okay, Linda, listen. I just need to get a burger, Linda, but Linda, please, Linda, listen.
Coach, listen. Coach. Coach, look at me, Coach. Coach, I'm serious. Coach, I'm here, Coach. I believe you.
Coach, can you sneak out and bring me a goddamn Big Mac, please,
Coach, what do you want? Here's the thing. I'm not doing this for me. I'm doing this for us. So,
yo, you saw they let Dennis Rodman go to Vegas. Why the fuck did the nigga go to McDonald's? I don't understand. I just want a Big Mac, nigga. I don't even want to go to Vegas and to trip with the strippers. I just want a McDonald's, my nigga. That's all I want.
Keep Ramen Electro. I just want some supersized fries, man.
Coach, the Shamrock Shake is here full time.
Coach, they brought back the McRib. This only happens once every 2 months, Coach. Once every 2 months, I have to get the McRib.
Coach, they didn't bring back the McRib for Juneteenth, so I got
it. Coach, don't you know Black Lives Matter? And my life thinks that I need to matter myself around the Big Mac, Lord. Just let me go, Coach.
Coach, listen, Coach. I'm actually going to be healthy. They got grilled chicken, Coach. It's artisanal. Coach. It's artisanal. Coach.
And then gets all offended. Coach!
This is how you do supplemental workouts for your abs. Because like the T25 now, they got this dynamic core where you're on the ground doing these V-up shits. Like I can't even do it because I'm in a chair, but you're doing that, holding that shit up for like you follow that shit up with this. Oh, you'll have a six-pack by the time that the NBA finally starts again, which is not never.
But Coach, listen, Coach, when you drafted me, you told me that there were responsibilities. Now, in order for me to do what you need to do, I need a certain amount of substance. Now, Coach, listen, I was playing in the streets before you picked me out the gutter, Coach. McDonald's saved my life.
Yo, Jay, I got one. Yo, Coach, when you drafted me, you said you were trying to bring change to this organization. Well, Coach, when I go and buy my Big Mac, I'll bring your change. My mama taught me well. I will bring your change, Coach.
Imagine someone walking up to Bob Kraft in the NFL if there's a bubble. Bob. Bobby.
Roku with the fire. Roku ain't gonna be left behind. Roku got that fire too. He ready for this. Yo, God damn it.
Listen to me. I love this. Wiley Henry, guys, can we get the Atlanta Thick Peaches going, please? Maybe not a great team, but best after party. Yeah, that's for sure.
Sir. Yes, sir.
I'm down Atlanta. I know how that goes. Christian Ramos sent us a little bit something. Let's see. Basketball booty is the best. Oh, baseball booty.
I've heard that too, especially all them niggas hitting home runs. Like if you remember, even when what is this? Is it Prince that played first base? He used to play for the Texans or for the Rangers for like
Prince
half a second.
Prince Fielder.
Same thing. Prince, like when they did the body thing of him. Like, you know, the main thing they had him in like the swinging position, just kick, like anybody
ass and thigh. It was
anybody that be hitting like that guy.
Looks like a 6-piece meal from Church's with just ass.
I don't know. He looks like the only thing he's eaten is a 6-piece meal from Church's.
I don't know if you guys remember this. Yeah, go ahead, Jay.
He made history because of that, because he was the first bigger dude.
Yeah, I remember.
On the bottom one.
You guys may not remember this, but that motherfucker went vegan. he gained more weight going vegan. Like he got bigger going vegan. It's the only person I've ever seen gain weight going.
No,
vegan.
I know a couple fat vegans.
I know why though, because most of them that happens because the adjustment you don't get near. Well, part of it, but you're not getting as full. I know a lot of vegans that then they overcompensate their calories.
You don't get full quicker as somebody who's going back to it. You don't get full, but also they figure because they're not eating meat, they can eat anything else, and that's not the case. You still have to watch what you eat.
Right. Larry Fitzgerald says first team all dunk.
I mean that's real. I don't know if you've ever seen Larry Fitzgerald's ads. There's a reason why his route running is so crisp. Like he's slugging. click.
Jimmy Winston slugging.
Crispy says. Oh my God, that's great. All right, let me see if I've had some StreamYards or StreamLabs come through. Guys, keep sending the StreamLabs. Ladies and gentlemen, please keep sending the StreamLabs. I can split this up between the guys.
You see the camera just ask.
And look at this route running. It's absolutely amazing. I mean, you never thought that Larry would leave the Arizona Cardinals, but it makes only sense that he would be first all team on the Washington thick. This is so clean right here. He hits it up, then he curves, and then he comes down, and then he hits it with it. He's just gone. This is exactly why he is a first ballot Hall of Famer. Oh. Hit him with the StreamLabs, bro. Sorry, it's all first team all dunk. That was brilliant.
Oh my God. I'm gonna get so much trouble.
No, you marked it not for kids, right, Rocha? You had one job. You marked this not for children.
You have this one job.
That's all you needed. You're good. First team all dunk, bro. Look at that. Look at that. No matter how hard he tried, because you know this nigga works out so much, he cannot get that thigh gap because it's first team all dunk on that motherfucker.
And the curvature. Mike, let me get my John Madden. My God, right there, the curvature under the buttocks. You see that right there? It's those slits right there under the buttocks. Well, Chris Collinsworth, old boring ass. Well, John, it's right there in the pleats.
It always sounds like someone stepping on his neck. You're right, John. About that. Got a great
like I don't know if you've seen this, but there's a woman that has put together NFL butts Pinterest.
No,
and she literally has put all of her favorite butts that she has seen. All right, and it's ridiculous. Like there's one of Sean Merriman, but you forget how much ass he had.
Sean Merriman was thick, bro. I'm not even gay, and Sean Merriman was like, "Oh man, hey, Mr. Merriman, because you know you put your hands just like, hey, Mr. Merriman."
I mean, it's funny because my girlfriend and her friends are already coming up with two different accounts, and one of them they were talking about was the like football asses I would like to follow or some shit like that. I don't even remember what it was. But
this is the true shit. This is the true shit. Literally, he ran for the first down using his legs. He caught the ball with his hands. He caught the ball to say that shit. Sean Madden would say the most obvious shit ever. If he crosses into the end zone, that'll be a touchdown.
The curve that could not be flattened.
Oh my God.
Oh my God.
Oh, Hines Ward was another one. That was a good Jerome Bettis, Hines Ward. Yeah, those are all Jesus Christ.
Let's see. Samir.
You got dumb sucker truck. What? Larry, run your routes.
I gotta get props.
Go ahead. Sorry.
Samir left a fantastic Streamlab. Thanks so much, Samir. Game Time is the best damn sports show on YouTube. Y'all make my week. Someone mentioned on SCN today calling the Redskins the Washington D.C. Football Club or something like that. Was that you, Winston?
Someone. Yeah. DCFC. Yeah. But I was just laughing. Because like Cosmo even did an article back in 2012 about the asses of the NFL. Yeah. Like Troy Polamalu's tight butt and luxurious locks have kept us intrigued for years.
I just want to say for the record, Winston is clearly over here Googling NFL asses.
It's hilarious. Because bro, they literally went they were like, we don't watch the NFL, but here's every team's best ass in 2012.
Gotta give it up.
It's just funny, man. I just like. I mean,
what's today's Focus T25 workout? Are we doing squats?
I can tell you. Hold on. I can tell you. We need to come up with the workout, the NFL ass workout, bro.
Oh, I like that. That should be a skit. That should be a skit.
You want your ass to look like that ass?
I mean, look. If y'all haven't seen Hood Ass Yoga, I've already written script number 2. So go ahead and look it up. Look and search for Hood Ass Yoga here on YouTube and tell me that you don't laugh your ass off by what I came up with, man.
You tired of your ass looking like old gym shoes?
When I woke up this morning, I did not know I was going to be objectifying NFL players, but that's how life is. Tamishka Productions sent in. He said, "What's up, fellas? The NBA. That NBA food looks like they raided the condiments section at Chipotle. I have seen MREs that are better than that. That's in the military. To be honest, some humble pie isn't going to anyone. Firefest food, it's murder." Doing little.
That's
good. That's good.
Well done. Holy shit! I was not ready for this.
We're not going past that. We're not going.
Ja Rule, man.
No. I want you to do. No. Shut the fuck up. Do that again. Hold on. I want to make sure I'm prepared for it when you do it. Hold on. I gotta make sure.
Yeah, hold on. Wait. Yeah, give me 1 second.
What am I doing?
You're just gonna do the "it's murder" again. Okay, ready? Okay, go.
Do it. Go ahead and do it. You do this.
It's murder. There you go.
Well, I have the clip for Blurs in the Hood, Winston. That's all I need.
That's the only way I'm getting on the show, apparently. Or some of the players are about to revert back to their travel ball days in high school and be sneaking out and buying beer with fake IDs. If they brought back the Sonic Juicy Island Fireburger, I would be busting out of some windows.
You're gonna see some player gonna be like, "I am McLovin."
Bro, I'm just imagining. I don't know if y'all watch Friday Night Lights, one of my favorite shows. But it was this first season when they were about to go to state and shit, and they were in like it also happened to Coach Carter. They win whatever tournament, they win whatever playoff game, and then the hotel, they're like, "Fuck it, we're gonna sneak out." Some girls invited us to a party, and then Coach has to go and track their asses down. I'm just imagining just literally the Doc Rivers like shock hand on his hip shit, like Adam Silver just walking up like,
"The fuck is wrong? Burgers, guys, burgers."
Burgers. All right, let's move on. We're already so far behind. What do we got here? Oh yeah. Russell Westbrook. An hour into the show, Russell Westbrook tested positive for coronavirus. He's the latest one. Listen, him and James Harden were not going to show up at the same time to the Houston situation down there in the bubble. So, I mean, is this a situation where Russell got himself a positive test, so it is enough to go down there and eat that shitty ass food, or is what is the situation here? Because I would not put it past the player getting this shit, so they don't have to go down there, man.
Russell went to somebody he knows, like, "Hey, come here for a second, I need a favor." They're like, "What you need?" "Cough right here."
Cough in my mouth, man. Take that shield helmet off your face and cough in my mouth, man.
Cough right here. What you want? Cough in your mouth? Okay, just breathe real hard.
Breathe really hard.
Here's even better. So Jay, imagine that I walk up to the side of you, but be a Karen for half a second complaining about masks.
I don't want to fucking wear a mask at all. Why would I have to wear a mask to do anything?
Just walk around. Thanks, bitch.
When it sucks up the air, what's your
It totally is. Oh my god, that is brilliant.
He literally just tried to what's it called? He just tried to shotgun his COVID germs right out her mouth while she bitching about the mask.
She's like, I don't want to have to wear this.
I love that. Russell tweeted out about it. He said, "I tested positive for COVID-19 prior to my team's departure to Orlando. I'm currently feeling well, quarantined, and looking forward to rejoining my teammates when I am cleared. Thank you for all the well wishes and continued support. Please take this virus seriously. Be safe. Mask up. Hashtag, why not? Why not? I mean, just why not wear a mask? I mean, it's no big deal. I wouldn't put it past Russell. Look, Russell got money. I wouldn't bet Russell's sliding a few hundred or a few thousand. The doctor going, hey, man, make me positive for COVID-19. So I don't go down there for a while. Don't clear me until just before.
He's literally like, my chef can't come from France for another 2.5 weeks, so I'm gonna need you to go ahead and give me a positive test, my nigga, because I ain't eating that shit. So, and also Peggy Gibbons, the answer is yes.
Winston, why is your jersey? Oh, you kiss crisscross? Yes, Peggy. Good job, Peggy.
Literally, yes. That's you might be late to the show, but I did address it up top. It was something that happened at SCN Live, so yes.
I think I can still do it, right? Too legit to quit.
There it is. Yeah, well done, bro.
Those were the days, man.
Okay.
Too legit to quit.
That is also true. Too legit to quit is indeed not crisscross. It is MC Hammer.
Yeah,
but yes,
that was the one. That was his last one, I think.
No, it wasn't.
And then he tried. Didn't he try to go back to the ghetto with that weird rap song of his right at the end when they were like done with him?
No, you got to remember Pumps to the Bump, bro.
That's what I'm talking about. That was ridiculous. That was like Will Smith's Switch song. You're just like, nope, we're not doing that.
Well, you know what Switch was about, right? Switch was definitely about this entanglement that they just addressed this past weekend.
And I would like to say for the record, this is how you know Will Smith has better side chicks. Margot Robbie and Charlize Theron ain't said shit.
Well, no, but you heard with someone was like, so this interview makes more sense when she was on the Tonight Show with Jimmy Fallon and they were playing a Truth or Drink, and it was like, I can't ask this question. I'm gonna drink, but the answer is Will Smith. And they're like, oh, you're doing Suicide Squad together. Does he die in Suicide Squad? And she's like, I can't say anything. It just takes a shot up. It's like, oh no, he dropped Margot Robbie down. Oh no,
he was like, Harley.
Oh my God, that is funny.
He was fucking with the eye patch on. With the she had on a daddy's little monster shirt getting hit from the back with the stick with the hair.
Cameron Hainsworth, all you brothers making my Monday. My lady and I are crying, laughing. 20 pounds well spent. Love you guys. Thank you, Cameron.
Thank you, Cameron. I appreciate that. We're just here to entertain the masses, man. That's it. And I also, IMAX, you're right. I was mixing some
That's
stuff.
What I told you. I was like, yo, dude got away. Yeah, he lived
later. That's fine. I apologize. You're right. I can admit when I'm wrong. I was wrong there. But yeah, they still died too young. 34 is too young.
It is.
What are some get backs? What are get backs? Well, you guys tell me.
Are you ready? Are you ready?
Teach me.
We have to set up in our Black professional scholar mode. Okay. So John Rocha.
Yeah.
What a get back is what you have on standby. It is a woman if you're a heterosexual male, or a man if you're a homosexual man. That you have that you already had the intercourse with, in case your wife says, well, I've done it already. I've had my affair, and you now have yours. And you're like, well, let me pull this out of my pocket. It's been done already.
Oh, wow. Which is what Will pulled out, is what you're saying.
No, Jada told him. Jada was like, you already had your get backs.
She's like, we're done with that. He's like, I'm not. He said that shit at the end. I was like,
this nigga gonna go fuck every co-star on every movie.
So Will said, we're not done?
Because they was joking. Will was like, I'm not.
Oh, damn.
Damn.
This is crazy. I don't want to get involved in that. That's a little too crazy for me. Tavishka Production says Adam Silver equals every 80s high school principal. What teen movie would you choose for the NBA, and who would the cast be?
That's 1,000% Ferris Bueller. This whole team is you might call them the Breakfast. Yeah. Then you might call it the Breakfast Club and just say all these niggas that are out here.
I would say the Breakfast Club, but because it's like if it's Ferris Bueller, who is Ferris? Because it's a bunch of people. A bunch of them can be Cameron. That's easy.
That's easy. Who's Ferris? Russell Westbrook, because he went up to a Karen and said, "And now I have the COVID," and he doesn't have to show up.
Hey, have you ever heard the theory that that whole movie is really a dream?
Yes,
I haven't heard that theory before.
The theory is Ferris isn't real. It's in Cameron's head.
Yes, he went back to sleep after Ferris called him.
After Ferris calls him, the whole thing is in Cameron's head. So they never really leave.
Yeah,
I'm surprised we just went there, but that's
no, that's fine. There's a lot of weird theories about movies,
like Casper. Which one?
Gladiator. He's dead. He actually did die, and he never came back. Never had that whole thing. Never fought the dude at the end. None of that shit. Like he legitimately died. He never recovered from that thing. And none of that.
Like Richie Casper is the ghost of Richie Rich.
Yeah, this is what Will thinks your thoughts. He's just like, feels so good. You got some get backs? I'll get my get backs.
He's like, I know every cheerleader on the Washington thick, Jada.
Will is only upset. I don't even think Will is upset. Will Smith is only upset because we're going to talk about this way more in depth on Blurs tomorrow. He is only mad because this shit went public.
Yeah,
that is the only thing he is.
His reputation.
Yeah, I agree with you. The only thing I'll say is I think, and it's very clear because you can see it in his face, it probably bothered him when it happened because let's be honest, the fact that this was one of Jaden's friends, like the kid had his own kind of mental stuff going on, like August and all that kind of stuff. I bet you there's a million layers that they were honest about we went to therapy about this already. I agree with you though. The main source of pain here, like, because that's probably still under the surface a little bit, because you know how you can get over something, but it can still hurt you. Yeah. I think he's over it for the most part, but also, you're right. It's the public persona of this and how bad this looks.
Also, the fact that, you know what I'm saying, like they said, we were separated, and Will was like, yeah, I was done with your ass.
Oh, no, he put it on the table. That's for sure. He told the waiter.
Put up the Will thing again.
Which one?
Just the face you just had, the Will Smith face.
Oh, yeah. Hold on. Let me bring it up. You mean this one? Bam!
Oh no, not that. But goddamn, yes, it's a bad motherfucker.
That is
but that's exactly how it looks.
First of all, I just want to say those two pictures back to back.
I know, right?
Perfectly.
It's kind of fucked up, yeah, to have them back to back. But I was just gonna say, my name is Jay Washington. Y'all close them gyms again, man. Fuck y'all.
Fuck y'all, man.
I love you, Jay.
Here's your homies in Illinois, Jay, and here's Jay in California. Man.
Oh no! I
lost 30 pounds, Jay. Fuck y'all, man.
Oh no! I get it.
All my weights, bro, because I knew this shit was coming back. I didn't take no chances.
Well,
all right.
Holy shit.
Send in your StreamLabs, send in your super chats here. We're going to move on to our next thing. We'll see what happens with Russell. I don't think we're going to get the NBA. I really don't. LeBron is trying. LeBron wants that title. He will play against like 10-year-olds if he has to. He doesn't care. He wants that title.
LeBron going to play in a body condom if it means he can get a title.
LeBron will play in anything, man. LeBron, he'll play in anything right now. He just wants to get that title with Anthony Davis and put one more notch on his belt.
He needs to say he has a Lakers title. He wants to say he has a Lakers title.
Right.
That's what it is.
He's the driving force of this. I believe he's the driving force of this whole thing. So I think if he stepped out and said, we ain't playing, I don't think these guys will be playing.
Nigga, they just shut the league down. If he say we ain't playing, the league is done.
Yeah, exactly. Well, let's move on to this other story. I want to get you speaking of LeBron and Anthony Davis. What do you guys think about the fact that they are not going to wear any of those social messages that were approved by the NBA about Black Lives Matter? They approved everything up until China. You can't say nothing about China or Hong Kong. NBA won't let you do that, apparently, because that's too much money involved. But what do you guys think about the fact that they're going to go with Anthony Davis, going to go with LeBron James, but not like Breonna Taylor or George Floyd or I Can't Breathe or Black Lives Matter? There's a number of ones that were approved, but they're not wearing them. Do you think this is a little strange if they're saying they want to like lead on the social side of things? I don't know. What do you guys think?
I was under the impression that this was LeBron's idea in the first place. So there is a real part about me doing him not doing it that makes me feel some type of way. I have been a very vocal component of that. We are dealing with some serious social justice issues, or civil rights issues is a better way to put it, because I know that social justice is a trigger word for a lot of people. We're dealing with a lot of civil rights issues right now, and I do think that movies and sports, like, there's a part of the human brain that needs distraction. But I think until we genuinely get some change in here, I don't think we need the distraction in the same way that, like, you know how, like, when it's time to study for your goddamn test, it's like you might get a little break, which is like a Tiger King drops, but your ass needs to fucking study, take your test, and when the test is over, then you can go do whatever the fuck you want. I think that's how I felt about sports right now. So when I heard that they were going to do the jersey thing, I thought it was whack in the first place, but it's better than nothing. To hear that they're not about that either. I'm not saying that there's like LeBron has been one of the most outspoken activists that I can think of in sports.
Yes,
but I certainly hope that there's something he has from a different angle that he wants to attack. Otherwise, this looks a little weird.
It does, doesn't it? Because he's the one that encouraged the Miami Heat to wear those hoods when Trayvon Martin was killed. So it's where they wore the I Can't Breathe shirts. Kobe wore the I Can't Breathe shirt. So to me, it's strange that him and Anthony Davis saying, well, Davis is the last name of my family, and if we win a title, I want that name to be what people see. But I don't know, man. It feels weird to me.
Stupid. That's stupid to say that. To say if we win that title, that's what I want people to see. Nobody's gonna say your name is, oh my God, LeBron James won with Black Lives Matter. Ain't nobody gonna say that.
True.
Nobody gonna say LeBron James won with Breonna Taylor. Arrest the cops that shot Breonna Taylor. Ain't nobody saying that. They're saying LeBron James and Anthony Davis won.
Right.
And again, there is some money involved here somewhere. Yeah. That's keeping this, because LeBron is no matter what people may say about LeBron, he's a great basketball player and he is a great businessman. Yeah. There is some money involved with this for him to have it brought up, because again, it sounded like Winston said, this is his brainchild. Yep. For him to not do it, this is a business. It's business somewhere, and we got to it's one of those follow the money.
Yeah. He like I said, he said there were 29 approved messages. He said he wasn't wearing those because, quote, it was something that didn't really seriously resonate with my mission. So that's confusing to me. And Anthony Davis said he was torn between going with his last name or the messages. He said, I didn't know what to decide. Should I have a social justice message or should I just have my last name there? I just think my last name is something that is very important to me. Also social justice as well. But just holding my family name and representing the name on the back to go through this process and my name and people who've been with me through my entire career to help me get to this point while still kind of bringing things that we can do for social justice. So it's weird. 285 of the 350 eligible NBA players have already picked a social message to put on their jerseys. 17 opted out to continue using their names. And there's nothing wrong with that. But I think when you're someone like LeBron or Anthony Davis, who really are one of the big stars of the NBA, you know, like you don't know if Giannis would do that. Giannis is Greek. Like I don't know what the connection would be for him. You could understand that. But LeBron and Anthony are here from the States. LeBron's been on the forefront of a lot of social issues and marching on this guy. I mean, he brought up the fact that he was upset that they can't use the Hong Kong, China stuff. So, like, it seems weird to me that he would all of a sudden draw a line here. So, I don't know. I don't. It just feels weird to me. There's something here. Like, it reminded me of what Jordan said, how Republicans buy sneakers too. And I know he kind of walked it back in The Last Dance, but he still said it. So to me, I'm like, I wonder if this is a part of for LeBron as well. Like, there's a lot of money involved here, and so maybe he doesn't want to risk that coming towards the tail end of his career.
Did you see what Kenneth Daisy just said?
No, what he said. Feed us on the back. Oh my God, that would be funny.
Or will play for food. Jay, he also wrote will play for food.
Oh, I like this. I'm not a businessman. I'm a business.
That's
man.
what Jay-Z said. Yeah. You know what could go on you could go on the back of their jerseys, living in that bubble. Where's Ja? Where?
You got, it's interesting. I don't know. I guess I just wanted to get you guys' thoughts on it because it rang wrong for me. But if it feels wrong for you guys, then I know I'm not off.
It's weird. It's weird. This was your big statement of Kyrie Irving. We are going to do something. Like playing is our platform. Right. That's how we're going to do it, and this is going to be the stance we're going to take. And then your two biggest stars aren't going to do it.
Yeah. He says he wasn't part of that process, which may have factored into the fact that he didn't matter. Yeah, that's what I feel like too. Why do we have to kiss your ass to make it happen? You know, I don't know. It's a weird situation. I mean, Kyle Korver, white boy Kyle Korver is wearing stuff on the back of his.
Because he want to keep getting some black booty. You know what? You know Kyle Korver hits sisters. You know good goddamn well he out here hitting sisters.
Yes, Rocha, yes. With the Henry Z, he likes it too. The Washington thing, he like it. Yes, he's the only Washington fan here. So if he approves, we good. We good.
But Kyle Korver, you know Kyle Korver out here getting nothing but sisters. Let's just keep it 100, and he want to make sure he keep getting sisters. This boy go with Black Lives Matter, everything. I mean, he means it. He means it because Kyle Korver has always been about that. But he definitely be like, you goddamn right, I put this on my jersey.
Yo, Kenneth Daisy is killing it today. This is probably be my favorite social justice thing they put on the back of the jersey. Send booty. Send booty. Because they're trapped in the bubble. Well, yeah, it probably would be. That doesn't surprise me, actually.
Oh, that's terrible. That's terrible. Yeah, the Lakers did lose Rondo for 6 to 8 weeks today. He broke his right thumb. So now apparently Dion Waiters is going to come on to the Lakers. Bruh, Dion Waiters and J.R. Smith, there's going to be a shooting. There's going to be people getting set on fire. You can't have those two on the same team.
Yes, you can, because LeBron is there. Anytime LeBron has a job, guaranteed J.R. Smith or Dion Waiters will have a fucking job. They
they hate me. Yo, Kenneth's on fire today. Holy shit. At least I'm not a bitch. Yo, I do want to acknowledge what Z Jones CB said about his school and said he gets to college for free. I agree. He has actionable stuff. What my issue is, do not be the voice in the face of this jersey idea and then be not a part of it. Yeah. If that's how you really feel, then have somebody else say that, and then you don't have to support that statement. That's my issue. I am very aware of the fact that LeBron is probably doing more than anybody in sports, apart from maybe Maya Moore, who let her career go to go get a man wrongfully convicted out of jail. And there's nobody in sports that is doing more than LeBron. I don't deny that. But the problem is, if this is supposedly your brainchild, whether or not you came up with it or you're the spokesperson for it, it looks really fucking weird for you not to also be a part of it. That's the weird part.
Yeah, I'm not trying to judge the man. He's done so many more things for social justice than I could possibly do because I don't have the money he has. But still, this feels just a little weird with all this going down. I like this one. What? You can feed me now?
You can feed me now. I don't stop now.
What I'm gonna do? What you gonna do? You gonna feed me? What you gonna do? That's my daddy part.
I don't like this new one, and I know you're gonna click on it because you're an asshole. But that's
You won't get down with the exchange. You won't get down with the exchange.
All right, let's move on. Keep sending those Streamlabs and Super Chats. Got another one. Tavishka, 2 of them. He said that Will Smith photo is the face Jay has after hearing more tight end news or the word tight end, period. Speaking of, how about those Washington thick tight ends? Hashtag NFL butts drive Rocha nuts. Hashtag what that ass. Hashtag
I want David's ass so bad. What were you referring to? I'm just curious.
What do you mean?
Was Damon talking about going to singles or something? Is that why you
Damon,
said
I wanted to get the belt off Damon. I wanted to be the first person at the time to beat Damon. Then all this COVID thing happened, and it was threw everything out of whack.
Star Wars?
Yeah, I wanted to go in Star Wars. I think
we're gonna
3 months.
Sir,
I would take him on after
Sir, listen, I understand how much you believe in yourself.
3 months.
Listen, I understand how much you believe in yourself. And
I've proven it, haven't I?
Now, let me tell you something. Listen, that boy is what we like to call a savant. You are what we like to call old. And you should
You can't call me old. You of all people got 3 20-year-old children telling me about I'm old. Don't even start with me. Don't even start with me.
First of all, well, here's the thing about if I got 3 20-year-old children, at least we know my pipes work. Look at
I'm literally just about to be that nigga in the audience watching a roast battle. Just yes, give me more. Give me more. Damn. Yo, Infinity and Beyond's coming for that ass, bro. Literally, you see that shit? What's gonna go on the back of Rocha's jersey? No, a little bit higher. Infinity and Beyond, bro. I know you don't want to click on it, but you got to do it.
There you go. That's right. Damn right it is. That's what spurred me to 4 titles. So damn right it is. Tavishka said, I mean, at this point, should all sports just create a completely different trophy for this season? Which suggests a bronze, a silver, and gold asterisk.
Nope. We had a regular an abridged season with lockouts. Yeah. Same thing applies here. And yeah, of course, it's going to be the asterisk by it, but no, keep it the same way.
Yeah, I respect that. I keep telling people, but people don't want to listen. Damn right, 100%.
You can't say it like, wait, first of all, you can't say, I keep telling people, but people don't want to listen. Damn right. About your black card almost being at 100%.
I'm in there. Inside Chocolate City. Inside. All right, let's move on to the next thing. Let's see. Let's move on to the next story here before we run out of too much time. We're turning the corner here into the last half an hour of the show. Do you guys want to talk about the DeSean Jackson thing? Is there anything really to talk about? It ended well. He posted some anti-Semitic things, but then Julian Edelman stepped up and said, hey, come to the Holocaust Museum with me. Let's walk through Julian Edelman, who's Jewish. Let's walk through it. Let's talk about it. DeSean seemed to be open to it. Apologize for taking down those things. Jeffrey Lurie ironically is finishing a documentary about exploring the evil of Hitler. And the Eagles fined him, but they didn't let him go. They didn't drop him from the team. So certainly a little bit more of an actionable situation in that they could have let him go, but they didn't. And instead, they trust that DeSean's going to do the work to kind of figure out why he posted the things he did.
I would be honest. I think DeSean needed to definitely be talked to. I think that the fact that he eventually came back around and there seems to be a level of education that's coming through, because it doesn't seem like it came from a hateful place. Yeah. It seems like it came from a very ignorant one.
Yes.
So I give the Eagles credit for this and this alone, and I honestly probably would have been pretty angry. You had Riley Cooper on camera say years ago the N-word on camera saying, I will fight any nigga that gets in my face, like try me. And all they did was fine him. Yep. If they had cut DeSean and only fined Riley Cooper, it would have been there would have been hell to pay. Now I'm not saying that, like, you know, what DeSean did was ugly, but again, I think it comes from a place of ignorance and not hate, like severe ignorance. Yeah. And that's a whole other conversation about, like, we could talk about how a majority of the time athletes are not having their academics taken seriously. They're just out there to go play. Because I honestly think if maybe he had been taking some of those classes in college, this is not even a situation that he ends up in.
Yeah.
But that being said, I at least am grateful that there's not some weird fucked up double standard here, because that would have upset me a lot. I was already upset with DeSean as is, and then I'm going to be re-upset with it. So, you know.
Yeah, agree with you, man. Agree. Anything to say on that, Jay? Anything to add to that?
Yeah.
Oh my God, you weren't even paying attention. Get off your phone, man.
I agree with everything what he's saying about the way you handled the situation. He gave there's nothing else to say, because that's the perfect example. Riley Cooper versus DeSean Jackson on the same fucking team. Yeah. On the same team.
And I get that it was a different time completely. And I agree, like I still have said this to this day. The minute he read in there, Hitler said, that should have been it. He should have been done with the book, put it down. Like that's it, period. Yep. But what the other thing that I think is so important is that it 1,000% depends on where DeSean went beyond that. If there was any sort of doubling down, like you're seeing with J.K. Rowling, like you see with a bunch of random people doing a bunch of random shit, cancel his ass all fucking day long. Cut him. Don't let him play in the league anymore. Don't do any of that. But the fact that you were able to genuinely have someone be like, I need you to see why this is wrong. He took a minute. He acknowledges it, and he's trying to do something to fix it. Yeah. It was a dumb fucking mistake that he does need to be punished for. Yeah. But I think that that's the only way that we actually get to a spot where people don't make these ignorant ass mistakes anymore, is you actually take the time to make sure that there's a difference between a fucking asshat and somebody who's ignorant. Yeah. If they're just ignorant, then you need to teach them not.
No, he's ignorant. No, they're ignorant. No.
Right. But if somebody's like, oh, DeSean did double down. See, I didn't know that. It sounds like he's since come back around. I didn't realize that he had doubled down. I thought afterwards he goes, I didn't mean anything hateful. I was just pointing to this. And then someone explained to him why it was problematic. Yeah. I thought that's what happened. If the truth is that he doubled down, then I just said it. If he doubled down on this, then that's a situation where then maybe they should have cut him. Then I've come back around on that. I'm just saying, if someone makes a mistake, let's teach them why they made a mistake and see that they don't do it again. But if that's not something they're interested in, then fuck them. That's the difference.
You can say double down, but also DeSean Jackson, this is coming from ESPN. He accepted an invitation to visit Auschwitz. Oh my God, I can't say Auschwitz.
It's okay. We know what you're trying to say.
Sorry, guys. During a Zoom call Friday with a 94-year-old survivor of a Nazi concentration camp. This is according to the Jerusalem Post. So if he apologized for his posts, he did not double down. He apologized for his posts. He defended why he said what he said, but he still apologized. And so accepting this, and there's video online, you can see the picture of him accepting this invitation to go to Auschwitz and visit that concentration camp with a 94-year-old survivor. So look, you can complain and all this and vilify, but we also have to create space for people to have their eyes wide open, or opened by the reaction from people. And that's education. Whatever DeSean's issues was, or maybe he doesn't have a strong attachment to Hitler. Maybe he doesn't care about Hitler as much as other people know about Hitler. So he posted this thing. But in the end, you're going to have the ramifications and the consequences. He dealt with them. Philadelphia dealt with him. And then he's opening the door to taking these trips and having these conversations. That's what you want from someone who's maybe said something wrong and is looking to be educated or is open to be educated about a subject matter. I don't think there's anything wrong.
Richard Productions just said in the comments to check StreamLabs. So
okay. Yeah.
But I also think that, there's the example I like to use all the time about there's a way that people can evolve and learn.
Yeah.
Literally look at what happened with Obama. Obama was anti-gay marriage.
Yeah.
And then obviously Joe forced his hand a little bit as far as how quickly they made, but he openly was like, you know what? I was wrong about this. This is something that should be put forth for all Americans. And I see that now. So I think that there needs to be a situation of allowing that growth. Again, if somebody is doubling down on hate or something, that's a different story.
Right.
And I guess the other difference with what I'm saying, doubling down, because people are like, he didn't immediately apologize, et cetera, et cetera. Again, the stuff was kind of playing out the way that it was. If he just been like, yeah, I'm sorry, okay, and then taking it down, that was it, I would have a bigger problem. The fact that he is trying to work with Julian Edelman, go to Auschwitz, that's how you say it, by the way, Rocha.
I'm actually said a good point about all that, though. A good point. Yeah. Riley Cooper didn't have to jump through all these hoops. And I get it.
Yeah, and that was a different time. That was a different time. I think now, if he'd done this, I think he'd be cut from the team immediately, or he'd be having to jump through way more hoops to prove his efficiency, his effectiveness, and his ability to stay with the team. Michael Vick came out and defended Cooper. That was kind of the essential part of that situation.
I mean, because they played together, but at the same time, that's another thing I hate, because we see this all far too often where you have a white person or somebody just in general being racist as fuck, and then they found a black person to glom on real quick, and everybody's like, oh, that one black person spoke up for them, so now all is forgiven, and that's not the case.
That's fair, Jay. Absolutely. I don't disagree with you, my man. It's not fair. Jeremy Miller says, we have a player quoting Hitler, and yet Kaepernick still doesn't have a job in the NFL. That's hypocritical. Well, I don't know if there's a correlative necessarily, but I get your point overall. Tavishka did send in a StreamLab. He said, Shannon Sharp has a great take on this conversation with DeSean Jackson and helped bring more context to the issue. It is a must-watch because it really shows how getting feedback from trusted friends can go a long way when dealing with public statements. He also added, the team owner is Jewish and the GM is Jewish for the Philadelphia Eagles. Both heard him out and are still moving forward with him. That should speak volumes. Right, Rocha, you calling a basketball game? I don't know what that means. Okay.
No, it was because you were trying to say ow swish.
Oh, Auschwitz. Sorry about that. Yeah. Sometimes the mouth doesn't work, ladies and gentlemen. I speak live hours a day. So
that's what your woman says. Sometimes your mouth doesn't work.
How dare you? How dare you?
No.
You want me to call her in? You want her to cut you again? She'll cut you again. You know that.
No, don't do all this.
My girl almost mounted Jay and cut him into pieces.
Oh, he says there's a that's not the whole message.
Tavishka, you keep sending him in $1 at a time. Send in one whole message for $5 and I'll read the whole thing.
Damn, you just shit on that man. How much you put in? Like, I
read the whole thing. I read the whole thing, Tavishka. What do you mind? I read the whole thing. There's nothing new that he's dropped. I see. What did he say? There's nothing new that he's dropped.
I don't know. I can't see the
StreamLabs.
The team owner's GM is Jewish. That was the last thing he sent. I read the whole message, damn it. All right, let's go on to the next thing. And if you send a new one through, I'll read it again, Tavishka, because I respect how much you give to the cause here. All right, the Big Ten. Let's do the Big Ten and Pac-12 are moving to conference only in college football here, and all the sports this fall. While the Ivy League canceled all their sports in the fall as well. I think the Horizon League or the Patriot League did the same thing. So these smaller conferences, probably who can't afford lawsuits, are quite fine canceling all sports in the fall. But you're looking at something like Pac-12 and the Big Ten. They're just, I feel like, what do you call it? It's like you're in the water and the sharks keep eating away at the pieces around you. And you keep thinking you're okay if you just kind of move to the center and stay alive until eventually you got to accept the situation and cancel.
White people shit. You just said you swim with sharks. I don't.
Yeah, that's the most white shit you ever
like
said.
When you in the ocean and the sharks be biting at you, you just gotta swivel. Nah,
nigga, was like, no, nigga.
No idea what that means. If I'm in the ocean and I see a shark, fine.
I'll tell you something.
I
don't
like I intentionally sought them out. I did not.
Going to the motherfucking ocean, nigga. That's how Gilligan's Island happened.
I saw that. What was that?
Representing Gilligan's Island.
Well, that sounds like that Kristen Stewart movie with below ground, underwater, whatever the fuck it was. No man.
You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to go down. I'm fucking. That's how. Ain't that what happened to goddamn Tom Hanks and Joe versus Volcano?
I'm just saying, it's eventually you're gonna have to accept the situation. It's like Tenet. Nolan keeps pushing that damn thing back, and it's like, look, the movie's not coming out, Chris.
That's the saddest thing in the world, though, because the movie looks so good. It's just.
Hey, Christopher Nolan's like Christopher Nolan's like this just come.
Chris.
Oh God. You see. Yo, Jay, you see what we did? We broke Rocha. My nigga out here doing full bits now. We broke him. Oh, she was trying to be professional on the show. And he up here like, Chris!
Christopher Nolan believed. Christopher Nolan was like, this movie's coming out. It's gonna come out. It's gonna come out. It's gonna come out.
Bro, you just got to drop it in a drive. It's got to be all drive-throughs or drive-ins. Like, I know that's sad, but like,
I like
Rochaception. Oh my God.
Oh, crazy.
Jason.
What just announced?
John Rocha. Oh my God, I'm done. Anyway, I just think all these conferences, all these things, they're just trying to make this thing work. And the thing is, at the end of the day, man, people are getting this thing at 15,000 cases in Florida. How many college football teams, NFL teams, NBA teams? Like, there's so much happening down there. It's insane to think that that's not going to get past it.
I got a question. This is a real question in regards to cover the entire sports spectrum as a whole. How do you think the population at large, granted, you understand how they react about a lot of shit. If you just told the population at large, no more sports for the rest of the year, do you think it's easier to tell them that?
It's a good question, Jay.
Or to give them hope, and then have it canceled? You're
probably right. It's like, I think that's a great point. It's like, it's like the girl says, no, I don't want to hang out tonight. And like 3 weeks later, it's like, no, I'm not feeling it. Oh, my parents are coming into town. Mm-hmm. I'm kind of sick. And then eventually it's over. Right. And that's so like, it's the slow drive. It's a slow end to the relationship. And that might be what's happening here. They keep trying to make it work, put out these ideas that they can make it work if they make these adjustments or whatever, because they're afraid if you say sports completely are canceled, there might be a riot in the country.
You might get riots, honestly.
And that's the thing. But the problem is you can't, it needs to be said exactly what needs to happen without trying to be nice about it. It needs to be said, yo, if it's rising up in your neck of the woods, wherever you are, stay at home for 2 weeks, let that shit drop down. And people are too busy trying to say, oh, well, it's our rights taken away. But then you got these same people who, I don't know if you guys saw the post about the dude on Facebook. It was a real thing where he was like, COVID-19 is a hoax. This is all bullshit. And then turned around and died.
He died from a 37-year-old man. Yeah.
Yeah. Like, this has been happening all too frequently.
Oh, there was another one that I saw of a dude that went to this woman that went to a party.
A COVID party.
To one in Texas, also believing that it was a hoax. And her last words on the operating table before they put her under and then she died was, I made a huge mistake. She pulled an Arrested Development and said, I made a huge and there's a part of me that wants to feel bad, but it's like
play stupid games, win stupid prizes.
She went to the party, got it, then went to a church service with 100 people, and then later on died from it when she was dying within the week or something like that when she was diagnosed.
My thing is and so granted, we're lucky we have something to talk about on this show. We could find from anywhere it goes, and people having hope, but at the same time, it's like this country is stupid. Let's just call it for what it is. This country is fucking dumb as a whole because we can't get on one accord to do one simple little thing to move forward. Everybody acts like it's taking the most away from them to do one simple little thing.
Yeah.
And now we're in most cases going back to step one.
Yeah.
And so now you still the people, you have us who talk about it. We talk about the NBA is proceeding forward. Training camp for the NFL is supposed to happen in a couple of weeks. The MLB is set to get ready to do their thing in Arizona. All these things set to happen.
Right.
But every time you hear something gets closer and closer, premier athletes from each one of these sports, I have COVID-19. Yeah. I've been diagnosed. I got this. I got that. And so it's just really... It's that thing of like, yo, I understand the part what you just said, Winston. You might cause a riot, but guess what? Riots die down. Guess why? We saw it just happen. You might have to let that uproar happen because I feel like you're causing more of an uproar, dragging it out. Yeah. Now I might be wrong, and I might be right, I might be wrong, but it just feels like you're causing more of an uproar when you're like, no, it's gonna happen. Well, hold on for a second. Let's pull back. But it's still gonna happen. Now let's just pull back a little more. We can't do it. I think you get more people more upset with that.
Yeah. It's a fair point, Jay. Absolutely. I don't disagree with you. Zachary Timmons sent in the super chat, said, hey, guys, just want to say Bubba Wallace is not the new Josie Smollett. His garage rope was the only one tied into a noose. No apologize needed, Trump. No, yeah, I don't disagree. I think that was a bunch of horse shit, and people like, I don't know who called him Josie. Who's that guy, the pitcher for the fucking Red Sox? I forget
Kurt Schilling.
Yeah, Kurt Schilling. Him calling him Josie Smollett 2.0. That doesn't help anything.
So here's what happens.
He's just being a massive fucking dick, and it doesn't help.
It's his biggest racist dog whistle between him and the orange fuck muppet in office. Like there is no. At first, there used to be a tapering of the line with him. Mm-hmm. There is no more tapering of the line anymore. He just says it. At this point, I would rather him call black people niggas and get it over with.
Okay.
Because I would rather him say it. Yeah. I would rather him say it. The orange fuck muppet. Okay. I would rather him say it instead of keep tiptoeing around it and all this other shit. I'd rather him just say it so we can get it out the way. Because we all like, yo, we know what you mean. We know exactly what you mean. Say what's in your heart. And then, because I want him to call us niggas, and then to watch his followers all go, that's not what he said. When it comes to regular, that's not what he really meant. I want to it just needs to happen.
Or I'll tell you what they'll say, they'll gaslight the situation and go, well, the president feels that if rappers can use this terminology, he should be allowed to use this terminology, and to deny him the right of free speech. They'll try to gaslight it and turn it all the way around.
And then you try to tell them, but then when you tell them, do you know exactly what free speech applies to? It applies to being able to speak what you want without consequences from the government.
Right. Yeah, and I agree. I mean, the news thing, that I don't think there was anything wrong with NASCAR, highlighting it, talking about it. He was the only one. It was the only garage that had that noose. How did he end up in that garage? Did the person who tied that noose know that his team was going to end up in that garage by that time? And if someone saw that, how come no one said anything when they saw something look? I mean, the second I saw that picture, I was like, that is some shady ass shit.
That's a garage knot. Suck my.
Yeah, I don't even need the context. That was just uncomfortable to look at. Right, Jay, on the sports. Hope deferred makes the heart sick. Hope deferred makes the heart sick. Yeah. It's certainly something that does kind of mess with you overall. Oh, wait, Tavishka sent in another one. Hold on. Stop the presses. Hold on. Tavishka said, testing is the font bigger? Maybe the higher the amount, the larger the font. Still love y'all, but for real, this budget has been met already. LOL. Hashtag your cheaters need cheaters. I don't know what that means. And he said, ow, swish on the other one, claiming that I was playing basketball. So I don't know what that means. So anyway, Tavishka, I love you, brother, but I don't know what you're talking about. All right. Next thing. Let's move on to our next story. That's Charles Barkley. You know I ain't trying to insult you, my man. I love talking to you. Charles Barkley, he chimed in here on everything that's been happening, everything we're talking about here on the show. Certainly, Charles Barkley chimed in. He said, we need police reform. We need prison reform. My concern is turning this into a circus instead of trying to do some good stuff. He was in Nevada this week playing an American Century Celebrity Championship golf tournament. God knows why, considering the way he swings that club. But he was asked about all this stuff that was going on, the messages and everything happening. And Barkley said fans need a break from reality right now as millions of people are sick with coronavirus and others are suffering job losses. The last thing they want to do is turn on the television and hear arguments all the time. It's going to be very interesting to see how the public reacts. I think you'd have to be foolish to think we could go that whole 3 months without getting positive tests. But I think we are all flying in the dark right now, and I don't think anybody knows what's going to happen. When talked about the $2 billion over the next couple of years that could be the consequence for the NBA and the players, he said that's a lot of money for these players, and they can put it back into their community. So I think that's the main reason to play. You'd have to be a fool to think your kids will be safe in school right now. A lot of kids who are at home don't have access to the internet. That really makes the gap between rich and poor even more so. This is a critical time in our country. I just hope we get some adults who know what they're doing and stop screwing around and dividing our country. Now, I bring this up because both of you gentlemen have mentioned on a number of shows here that we've done together or separately, and you've talked about how everything else is being done except for the main thing people were protesting for, which was systemic change, destruction of systemic racism and change within these institutions in our country. Sports is connected to that. And so what do you guys think about Charles Barkley's comments here about it being too much of a circus and might distract from things?
Go ahead, because
this is one of those weird things where I both agree and disagree with him. I mean, I think the main issue here, and this is the same thing that could be said about the Redskins name. It's the same thing that could be said about tearing down these statues.
Yep.
Those are all well and good because they are a sign of respect that we haven't been getting in general. But the main issue is that, yes, they have not actually paid attention to and done anything to demilitarize the police. They have not put the fact that we have been arguing about an anti-lynching law that still hasn't come in because people are fucking dragging their goddamn feet and throwing things into the bill to intentionally not get it signed. It's one of those things where he's right about that, but I think to try and say people that actually have the most influence, and that is you're talking about athletes and celebrities that people are paying attention to on the regular, and to try and downplay them making statements, it's almost coming off as like a Laura Ingraham shut up and dribble type shit. And that's where I think Charles needs to be kind of careful about something like that. I know that's not necessarily what he's trying to imply. You can kind of tell in his statement, but the problem is the road to hell was paved with good intentions. I think a statement like that is some shit that a white person that is, or anybody that's like all lives matter on this scenario, you just gave them ammunition to say, see, exactly. One of your leaders doesn't even believe this is a good fucking idea. Why are you wasting my time? Give me my goddamn basketball. That's what he's giving ammunition to.
Well, and also
Charles Barkley has always been this type of person, though. Let's just be honest. This is nothing new. This is the same person. I'm not a role model for your kids.
Right.
Same dude.
He's also said he's a Republican and that he wants to run. He wanted to run for governor of Alabama, I think, for a while, or did run and didn't win. So certainly he's a guy who sees both sides of the issue. He speaks out when he sees it. I mean, I think I agree with Winston. I half agree with what he said, and I half disagree with what he said. So just kind of looking at what the context of his words, because I also think Charles would be the first person banging the drum to be like, I'm not going down there to play no hot spot with coronavirus and blah. You're not risking my career and the money I'm making so you can go down there and finish out some season. I'll just play next season. So I think Charles is this is an older man looking back on this. If Charles was playing right now, I guarantee you Charles would be one of the loudest voices in the room.
Well, also, go ahead, Winston.
Well, I was just going to say my other issue, and I've said this a million times, like whenever I've had people ask me about like advice about like, oh, what do you think? Like this person, do they genuinely want to date me or not? And I'm like, let's say they break plans. Let's say you had a date on Friday and they're like, hey, I can't make it. If they offer up an alternative, that's still showing interest in the situation. When you just give a negative and give nothing else, that in itself is a fucking statement. Charles didn't say, hey, I don't think this jersey thing is a good thing for these reasons. Here's an alternative that I think that might work. He just said, this is making it a circus. And then he stopped talking. That's a problem. If you're not going to offer a solution, doesn't matter if you're black, white, or whatever, shut the fuck up. That's pretty simple. If you do not have a worthy alternative that you would like to present, shut the fuck up.
I think that's fair. I think that's absolutely fair.
And I think the thing too is it's this discussion is going to happen no matter what, because you can't sit there and say, oh, people are tired of hearing about it. Guess what? The people that are tired of hearing about it have nothing on the people that are tired of going through it.
Yeah, true. Very, very true, Jay.
Somebody says that Charles does come up with alternatives in the interview. If that's the case, then again, I am a man that can admit when I'm wrong. Yeah. I did not get a chance to read the full context. I will go and read it for myself and educate myself on it. So if that's the case, I walk back what I just said, but I still stand by the fact, because it's not just Charles in this situation. There are plenty of people that like to be contrarians and do not like to give solutions. They just like to say no, and that's it. So that was where that was coming from. But I will go read the rest of his interview.
Yeah. Oh, he said, I mean, the only thing, he's just talking about cops. We need the cops, good cops out there policing bad cops. When we spend time focusing on what's on the jersey, that's going to defeat the purpose. So he didn't offer any changes or any real alternatives. He's talking about what's going to happen. They don't want to see a bunch of rich people talk about stuff all the time. I don't think there's a right or wrong answer. Then you're not offering an alternative by saying you don't think there's a right or wrong answer. So it's going to be he didn't offer any real alternatives. If you can find some real alternatives, then please put it in the chat. I will read it out. I will check it, source it, and read it out. Corey Scott Johnson says, came in late. Chicago don't want none unless you got them tight end buns on. Oh my God, look at those tight end buns. All right. I like it. I feel like I read some stellar poetry there. I like that. Samir Tesfaye says, that was terrible, Rocha. Terrible. Terrible. Caliendo does the best. Caliendo does a great, Charles. That's just terrible.
It's just ridiculous. Like, again, this discussion, this situation is going to happen, is going to be around. And no matter what, you can tell, again, like you said, Winston, the whole Laura Ingraham shut up and dribble. No. At the end of the day, no matter what, no matter how much these men have in their bank accounts, no matter what these men do for their career, no matter what, 90% of them, is it like 90% in the NBA or 70 or something like that? Which 70 in the NFL, 90-something% in the NBA are still black men, regardless. And let's be honest, if you're not a superstar, they can be pulled over at a moment's notice.
To not the Steven Jackson, but another Steven Jackson that played it. He was outside the CVS. And they killed his ass. I remember that. That was what, a couple years ago?
Yeah.
Remember that. Yeah, absolutely. Let's go to our last story here before we run out of time. A positive story, I think. There was a negative story with Kelly Loeffler, but we've done enough of negative stuff, man. Let's move on to something positive here. The Atlanta Hawks have hired their first female G League general manager. I think this is a fantastic thing that's happening. Tori Miller. What was that?
I was just saying, I'm glad you corrected that. Those are two totally different things. Atlanta Hawks hired the first female.
Let's talk about something positive. They fired. They hired their first general manager for the G League, and that is Tori Miller. She's been promoted to GM of the Skyhawks, which is the Atlanta Hawks G League team. It makes her the first woman to hold the title of general manager in the history of the NBA G League. She spent time as a basketball operations intern. That's incredible. She went from intern to GM of the team. She was an intern for the Phoenix Suns before her time in the G League. She was named assistant GM of the Skyhawks in July of 2019. Began her G League career as a basketball operations manager 3 seasons ago with the Erie Bayhawks, and now she has moved on into the GM position. I think that's an absolute positive thing going on, and we're going to see. I think we're going to see more and more women slide into these positions of power, and especially black women. I think certainly in the NBA and the WNBA, we're going to have more of a stronger voice, a more powerful voice, a louder voice in the room overall, and I think that's a positive going down the road. Yeah.
Here's my thing: if you're qualified to do the job,
yes, of course,
man or woman, the fuck doesn't matter,
right?
At the end of the day.
Well, I agree with you, but it's something to definitely talk about in the same way.
No. I'm with you.
Okay,
the push. I'm with you. It's just that pushback that people comes from it.
Yes,
that pushback. People like, oh, blah blah blah. Like, yo, if she's
it's a token hire. She wasn't really qualified.
Yeah, if you're qualified to do the job, it shouldn't matter.
I agree with you. I guess the only place that I was going, and I know you both feel the same way, is like the shit that happened with the black editors and people trying to call reverse racism and all that shit. It's one of those things that you're already in a position where women are not getting hired to do these jobs in professional sports. So again, they're qualified to do it, then they should get these opportunities. And I guarantee you people are looking forward to the day to not say, we got another female GM, to just go, oh yeah, Lindsay so-and-so is the new GM of the Lakers, whatever, and it's not a big fucking deal. I look forward to that day, honestly. So
yeah. I'm with you too, man. I think we're past so much of that crap. I think we have to move past so much of that crap, and women have proven already in sports in a number of areas they're more than capable to succeed and to fail. That's going to be when true equality happens, when you hire a female GM, she's not good at it, she fails, and it doesn't matter. The next time you look at a GM, you're still looking at another female GM as well. Like when women can fail as spectacularly as men fail and the entire gender doesn't have to suffer for it, then I think that's when we reach true equality. Just like with when minority coaches can fail at the level that white coaches have failed at for years and keep getting hired, then we've reached true equality.
I agree. And somebody just mentioned, well, good luck trying to fire her. You're going to get criticized if she doesn't do the job. But here's the thing, though. That should be the case for anybody, is that if you can't do the job, then you lose the job. And the problem is, if you take that mentality, you don't ever give an opportunity for a woman to get in there and fail in the first fucking place. So let her have the job, be proud that it's a thing, and then literally you treat her the same way that you would treat any man that would get the job. If she gets the job done, you first of all need to give her the legitimate window. A lot of times you see diversity hires, they get 1 year and it's like, well, it didn't work, get the fuck out. No. The same way that you see GMs that get like 3-4 years to sort their shit out, and if they can get it done, they get done. Cool, but you have to start somewhere.
Yeah. Like you have to have that opportunity. Everybody keeps saying the whole, the one statement is to pull yourself up by your bootstraps and all of the bullshit. It's like, or we can run the same race. We can't run the same race when I'm already 50, 60 yards behind you at the starting block.
Yeah, absolutely. So it's a good thing. That's why I wanted to kind of end the show on a positive note there and see what more is to come. Certainly, Nancy Lieberman is someone people have talked about. There's a number of women who've rolled through in NBA circles and in WNBA circles who certainly deserve a shot to make that transition into being a coach or GM or front office person in the NBA. And I look forward to that when, like, someone like Cheryl Miller should be involved in some way, shape, or form. She's an incredible athlete, very smart when she's calling the games.
Cheryl Miller should be an NBA coach.
Yeah, I agreed.
Cheryl Miller should be.
Leslie, she won that Big Three tournament. I watched that happen. I got to ask her a couple questions. Very nice woman.
Those are two women that should be actual NBA coaches. Not assistant coaches. They can head coach dudes.
Yeah. Dudes, listen. All them guys on the Big Three, they talked about how Lisa whooped their asses into shape, and she didn't take no guff when she was out there on the court coaching. Yeah, you respect that, dude. Let's see. One last thing here. D-Train says, it would help to know how these players get COVID. If they are, in fact, in a bubble, then how the hell do they contract it?
Most of them don't even know.
How long have they been down there is the other question.
About a week and a half, I think, so far.
So the other part of it is I would make the argument that some of these cats, like, I know they had to do the testing and stuff, but a lot of the shit that doesn't come up right away. It takes time to gesticulate, and then you can get your results properly.
Exactly.
That's why they recommend, if you can, to get multiple tests kind of in that whole thing. Like, you get tested, do your 14-day quarantine, get tested again, because it could have happened in that time period. So that would be my guess, because some of them were already tainted coming into there. But then, like you said, Westbrook isn't even down there yet.
Yep, he isn't.
So,
Here. Test me positive here.
Hey, listen. I can't use Photoshop that well to make the results sheet. So could you do me a favor and do an actual results sheet? Like, just say I have it. Do you actually make it seem like I have it?
All right. Let's wrap it up here. We're at 3:57. Gentlemen, please tell them where they can find you. Winston, starting with you, my man.
Yeah, at the Swaggy Blur, TheSwaggyBlerd. That's on all the socials. You can see me here every Monday. I'm on SCN twice a week. I'll be there tomorrow, as well as Blurs in the Hood with this gentleman to my right, but it looks like you're left. We do that every day, every Tuesday at 2 p.m. Pacific time. Since Jay has mentioned at the start of this that he is going to be going to Chicago, hopefully we keep doing them live. If we can't, we'll let you know. We might do a pre-tape. We'll try and I'm just being real. Am I off base there, man?
No, I'm trying to make sure where I'm at has good Wi-Fi. I leave next Monday, so I'm on a plane, so I won't be here. But
Tuesday you should be all right. So then, all good. We do our reviews about Doom Patrol. That's a big thing too. Positive Black People News. I think the way things are going, just because of editing,
Thursdays now
be permanent. So then Thursdays look for a new episode of PBPN as well as Swag Back Thursdays, and then Sundays, I've been doing Swag Day Fun Day on my Twitch channel as well. Essentially, I play Jackbox with the fans. So if that's something that you're interested in doing, patrons get a fast patrons get a fast pass to play with me, but then anybody can play after the patrons come in. What?
You ain't never told me that.
I've done it twice. I've literally done it twice.
Again, nigga, what am I doing at home besides watching the same shit on Hulu?
Nigga, I literally, first of all, clearly you don't read any of my tweets or my Facebook posts because I put, hey, I'm gonna play Jackbox. My girlfriend's gonna be here. Y'all should come play.
I just see you put that you going on your Twitch channel. I don't see you playing with your girlfriend. The last call I got about you was about me being your Leslie Jones. That's the last call.
Oh, you're just gonna ruin the surprise. Well,
no, I didn't say what it was. Just shut up. That's all
Long story short, I play with the fans on Sunday. Jay is welcome to come, of course. In real life, friends get priority. John Rocha, if you'd like to join me, I'd love to have you on.
Sure, of course. I'm down.
Playing Jackbox and having fun. But that's all the stuff that's kind of going on. I've got some other things coming, but again, can't announce it until I can announce it. But follow me on the socials. I'll keep you posted on all that stuff.
Boom. All right, Jay, what do you got?
Hi, I'm alone. I'm upset. I can't work out at the gym anymore until I leave here, hopefully. So please encourage me. Follow me on Twitter and Instagram, Mr. J Washington. I lose Twitter followers because I tweet black shit, and like racists get really mad and leave. And I don't like it. It hurts my numbers. Also, my Patreon, my Supervillain Squad, patreon.com/Mr. J Washington. One of the new tiers I've been doing, my $25 and up tier, is my one-on-one with the supervillain, where you and I get to sit down and have an unfiltered, candid talk about whatever you want for an hour or so. And then I put the episode up. Actually, I'm going to release the first one I did to the public today. I did Alberto Rios. It went to the squad already, and then everybody else will get to check that out. So join the squad. It's got a bunch of other stuff up there, stand-up clips, wrestling videos, all of me up there. And Tuesday Blurs in the Hood, Wednesday on my YouTube channel, youtube.com/JAY Washington 80. My Stargirl reviews go up. Yes, I watch Stargirl. It's a fucking dope show. Make sure you watch that. It is amazing. And on Thursdays, Doom Patrol with this man, Winston A. Marshall, as well. So, yeah, I think that's about it. And you can also catch me trying to make gym selfies at home, sweating now by myself because I can't.
Oh, yeah. Sorry, guys. We missed this one real quick. Remember, we said and the Tombstone.
Oh, yeah, you did. Yeah.
Best Western, Tombstone Unforgiven, and who would win between Denzel Washington and Clint Eastwood?
So you guys are going to hate me for this question. I've never seen either one of the movies.
I'm going to go ahead and say that I also have never seen either of those movies.
Wow. All right. Who would win in a fight between Denzel or Clint Eastwood?
You won't know.
You mean right now? Because if that's the answer, if that's the question, then the answer is Denzel.
How about both of them in their prime?
I still almost want to say
Denzel.
Okay. I agree. I think that
we're going off range as an actor in their prime. Denzel Washington.
I think they're talking in a fight.
Denzel Washington.
I think Denzel Washington still. Yeah. I think so. Absolutely. Also, Jay's going to be working out in front of Rocha's house. Yeah, probably. We can work out. Give me them motherfucking both. Give me them both flexes. Give me them both flexes. All right, there you go. You can follow me at The Rocha Says on Twitter and on Instagram. Thank you to Jay and Winston. I always love doing the show with those guys. They make my Monday afternoons great, and I know they do for you all who are watching and listening as well. Please subscribe to the channel down below. Hit that red button that says subscribe, and of course, hit the like button as well. Because even if you're watching this after we record it live, and a lot of you do, hit that like button. Leave a comment. The more comments, the more likes. Raises us up in the algorithm of YouTube and gets us noticed more and more. So that's a positive for this show and for the channel overall. Thanks again for joining us here live for this fun episode of Game Time. We'll be back again next week. Jay's stepping out next week, so we'll find a replacement for him, that's for sure. But then hopefully he'll be back again the week after, and we'll be good to go from there. Me and Winston definitely back next week. So have yourselves a great Monday. Enjoy yourselves. Take it step by step. And we'll see you again in about a week. Take care. Until then, much love.